What's going on, everybody? Cali Death Podcast back once again, episode 47. As always, we're here with my resident homies, Casey, Joel, and Joseph. I'm hanging out here on a Friday night with you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks to the subscribers. Hit us up at calideath.com. I was thinking about this, Joseph. We haven't given out our email address. If anybody's got suggestions for bands that they might want to see on the show, or if bands want to inquire about it, like, we should throw that out. So what is it again?
Oh yeah, it's caldpodcast@gmail.com.
Probably easier to reach out on Instagram or Facebook because they just go and like it and send a message. Yeah, it's just like way easier than Cal D Podcast. You know
yeah. And if you're not following, follow us there. Tonight we have awesome dudes that we've been hanging out with pre-pod for actually quite a while now. We had some technical difficulties, but that's all good because we got to chill a little bit. Jason and Alex of Chicago-based band Warforged, and Jason, I'm sorry, I didn't ask if Alex is also on the podcast as well, or is that just you and somebody else, Jason?
It's me and my buddy Bill. Alex is on the show every once in a while, though, as a guest. But it's me and my co-host Bill. He actually plays in my other band, Roman Ring.
Cool. And that's Nothings for No One.
Yep. Nothings for No One. We're literally on every streaming service you could find. We're on YouTube. We're everywhere. So
it's a fucking awesome podcast, dude. I listen to it all the time after Joseph was on there, because check out Joseph's episode if you want to do like a little cross streaming of a podcast. But I definitely, that's where I started. Actually, Jason, that's where basically like hearing your like fucking host voice, I was like, Jesus Christ, this guy's like got like an actual, like, you sound like a radio show like guy, like going like, yeah, next is we got Nirvana. I don't know, like something like, you know what I mean? Like it's like a legit like host voice. You know what I mean? You
Thanks, man.
Got a talent, my friend.
Dude, I've heard a lot of. You know what? That's so funny you say that, because I've gotten so many compliments on my voice. Like just this past week, Alex wasn't there, but I went over to the Black Dahlia show that was in Chicago to hang out with our buddies in Rivers, and James, the singer from, you guys know Black Crown Initiate?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good buddy of ours too, and he rolled up to the show because he lives in Indiana now. So I was like, oh, sick. We got to hang with him, and he does a lot of voice acting. And he came up to me and he was like, Jason, you should consider voice acting. He's got a really low voice. He's like, you should consider voice acting. And I'm like, shit, how do I get started? And then he was like, oh, listen to this podcast. And I'm like, I'm going to need more than that, dude. But maybe one day, you know.
I agree. Do you fuck around with different voices and shit at all?
Oh my God, yeah. That's like all we do in our band.
Yeah, we do a bunch of fucking stuff.
Yeah, we have all these characters and do all this productive stuff that's not related to our music at all.
Awesome, dude. That's
awesome.
Yeah.
Dude. That's why I'm gonna love this. I'm gonna love this episode because like we're just talking to like another like radio host guy that's just gonna be like, yeah, totally, man. I fucking got you, blah, blah, and just like keep the energy going, and it's gonna be a good podcast, man. I know it's gonna be
dude. I'm pumped too, man. I gotta say, personally, it is an honor to be on this show with you guys. Casey and Joel, both of you, when you guys were in Decrepit Birth, the records you guys were on pretty much shaped a lot of what I wanted to do with music after I heard them. So to be on the show with all of you guys is just like a mind-blowing experience to me. So I'm me and Alex, I speak for both of us. We're definitely honored.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, dude.
We're stoked. We're stoked.
We're so stoked.
And right after listening to Joseph on that show, I was like, I already felt just listening. I was like, this guy's going to be a future guest on the show. There's going to be a crossover eventually. I like his style. I like the way he talks. You know, I like his energy. Like, this is definitely a guy we have to have on in the future, and here we are, dude.
I definitely want to do. I want to do your show. I want to do it. I want to just get drunk and be.
I want to have all of you guys on the show.
Yeah, let's all do it.
So let's fucking make it happen.
I just want to get bananas and be on your show.
Dude, fuck yeah! I get bananas on my show. That's like the only place I do it publicly now, because I don't give it. Well, I give a fuck, but like sometimes it helps you get on that level, you know.
But like a cool not give a fuck. No, like
exactly.
You give a fuck.
You know, it's just kind of like I'm high. I could say whatever I feel. You know. Just kind of like a free flow type of thing. But yeah,
totally.
It's the shit, man. Fuck yeah. Yeah, and I would love to have you guys on anytime any of you guys want, whenever. I have you guys on 8 times in a row. I do not give a shit. So
you guys have a massive amount of episodes too, right? Or you're numbering them a certain way that makes it.
Yeah. We've been doing it for so long, Bill and I. Like, I don't even fucking remember when we started, but we had like a lot of breaks over the years where we would go for months without doing it. And like, now even every once in a while we'll go like a week or two without doing it, but we've been pretty consistent about it for like the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So we're getting up there, and honestly, it's just like a fun thing for me and him to do. Like, it's crazy to me. Like when people outside of just our friend group listen to it and they tell me they like it, it's insane to me, but it's awesome because literally I love talking. I consider myself a very social person, so I always thought a podcast would be a cool outlet, and it's just been a fun thing to do, and it's really, I don't know if it feels like this for you guys, but it's really stress relieving for me too. Like, it's nice to just fucking like just chill and talk and like not have to think too hard about what you're saying and just kind of like let the free flow of conversation happen. That's why the shows
laugh with your homies.
Yeah, laughing with your friends. Yeah, that's the best thing. It's all like connecting with each other, and like especially during what we've gone through in the last year and a half or something like that.
My God,
it's like it's brought us all together and brought so many people that I've never met together, and all a bunch of close friends together. It's that I haven't seen in 10 years and stuff. So it's been like a real, I don't know, blessing in disguise.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, dude. In the community that's kind of starting to build from it. It's like these random faces that you would not at the beginning of this, like would be like, are we gonna all wear jerseys that are all spanning across the world right now?
Yeah, I know.
Murdog from fucking
by the way,
Australia is like fucking everybody. It seems like anybody, he's going through the fucking past guests and all that too. So it's like it's actually becoming like a team of people, like a community, a family of people, and it all started just by us fucking bullshitting on a microphone and recording it. And talking to people about their histories and shit too, which is also like what people love about this, and not realizing that we were grabbing people that didn't really go that deep into their histories in any other interviews, because I mean, death metal don't really have long form conversations. It's like quick in and out interviews. And so we kind of just like fucking unfolded into this thing that everybody realized that we needed and wanted, and we're having a fucking blast doing it. So that's why
it's just like the like what Joseph, I think, was the one that coined the free form interview. It's just like, it's very free form. So it's like there's times like last week we like went into like an ICP like rabbit hole when I don't know anything about the band. And I was just like, I wanted to know.
Did you listen to any of those songs we said or no?
No, I did. Actually, you know what?
What is a juggalo?
I literally just
the same album.
I literally just closed a notepad that I had open because I didn't know what the things that were in it, because it didn't make any sense to me, and I think they were ICP albums. But I literally just closed it and didn't save it.
Dude, I had a bunch of friends in high school that were juggalos that like I was friends with because I was really scared of them, but they used to fucking beat the shit out of people and rob people, dude. It was pretty intense. But like,
there was one time we went to a show.
They were cool with me.
Yeah, I went to a show one time in Atlanta, and it's like a gnarly death metal show. It's like Suffocation, all these. And there's just like this dude just in full like paint, just like walking up, just going, I was like, what the fuck is that guy doing here?
You know what, man? I can't say anything other than the fact that like I respect people that have that dedication like that to something that makes them feel like they belong, to that degree. And if that's how it works for them, more power to it.
If that's the thing you're into and that's the thing that makes you happy, and that's like the little rabbit hole that you've gone down in, it's fucking rad. I mean, I might not like the music, but I mean, it's like
same.
Yeah. But it's like, but still though,
that's
like,
how this thing is though, dude. It's like you find out all these different other interests that people have too. Like I never knew that Ed was into that. And there's like people that have fucking brought on a sitar and fucking taught us how to fucking play that shit. And you're just like, what the fuck's going on here, dude? Like, we're tapping into some other things here. It's not just Cali death. It's not just death metal. It's like, we're all humans, and this isn't the only thing that everybody's into, even though this is a fucking great thing to connect and like be on a grid with other people with.
My favorite part about it is not that we're, you listen to a lot of podcasts or a lot of interviews, and it's like, oh, what's your biggest influence? What's it like being, it's like all these like, just like bland questions going at people, and then they answer, and then they go to the next question. Like for us, it's kind of like that's what when Joseph coined the long form, conversation. That means like they'll bring something up and they'll start talking, and then we could just go fucking wherever with it for a little while. And then our what we're getting better at is trying where someone like has a placeholder, like where we left off, and then because we just go like fly through the woods and we're just gone for a while. You know what I mean? And we're like, oh yeah, you're still in high school, right?
And they're like, where's that fucking road that we fucking stepped off of, dude?
Exactly.
By that tree over there, I think.
So speaking
that's the beauty of podcasts.
Yeah.
You know, you always get a different experience with whoever you have on. So
exactly.
And that's what I've known in real life too, you know.
Oh yeah.
Conversation just flows like
your Uber drivers, you know, it's like whoever picks you up, like sometimes you get some like crazy like ex-Olympian that picks you up or something, you know. It's like,
dude, I used to be an Uber driver. You could have me picking you up 5 years ago. So you know, like, I used to play really scary, like gnarly death metal in my car, like Putridity and shit, and to see what people would do. And one time I picked up this dude that like he must have been on a jog or something. He looked like a lawyer or a doctor, a dude who genuinely makes a lot more money than I do. And he got in the car and I was listening to I think it was Ignominious Atonement is the newest one they got. I love that record. But I put it on. He was like, what is this? This is really interesting. And it was like, oh, okay. This guy isn't here to just like shit on this. He's here to actually like make an observational comment. We had to talk about death metal for like 10 minutes. And I was like, oh, that was cool. You know, other times I would put that shit on for people and they'd be like, turn it the fuck off like immediately. And I'd
was he any kind of metal? Did he bring up any metal bands that he was into, or was he was just outside, but actually like, whoa, this is.
Yeah, it was more just like, I can't believe people can really scream. You know what I mean? Like shit that people say to you. I mean, I'm sure you probably heard it a lot, Anthony, where people are like, are you a good singer? And then you have to be like,
I'm a vocalist.
Yeah. I think Anthony's probably like in Anthony's position has to deal with it the most, especially for death metal, because most people will say the quote, oh, I like the music, but the singing, you know what I mean? When they never really hear death metal. And
I can't understand what they're saying.
And what I always tell people too, I was like, dude, you don't, because I've like hung out with people and stuff, and they're like, what's your band? They just check out, they just jump right into like Odious Mortem, like for the first like death metal, like to check out, and they're just like, Jesus Christ. I'm all, dude, it's a whole process to get here. You can't just jump into the crazy, you can't just go like, oh, Spawn of Possession, let me just check this out real quick. It's like, no, you have to go like the Slayer, you have to go like Slip or whatever, like a path to get there. You can't just like jump right in and be like, this is the shit. It's not. You
can't be Joseph's computer when you're trying to run fucking Joel's fucking PC fucking software, dude.
Inside, super deep inside shade thrown right there. All right, I'm gonna take this opportunity to talk about when I met you guys at the Carmen Bar in Laguna Niguel in 2019. Was it 2019? You guys were on tour with Inanimate?
Yeah.
And I brought my friend Tony, and I was like, dude, Warforged is sick. You got to come see these guys. And then we bought shirts from you dudes and hung out with you guys. Thanks, man. And you guys are like so cool live. And I was already a fan of the, One Voice album at that time. And, seeing them come alive was really rad. And you guys are both just like, you have like stage presence, and Alex, especially, you're like a big dude, and you were just like murdering that bass, dude. Like fucking, like it was, like lead bass almost.
Video of that show on.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like of us playing the title song.
Nice. Yeah. So anyway, I just been a big fan before that, but that's like, cemented it. And then ever since then, I was just like, dude, I hope sometime I get to like play with you guys live, or even tour with you guys or whatever. And so
I would love that now.
Yeah, it'd be sick,
exactly.
Man.
So I just stoked to fucking have you guys on. And
fuck yeah. Thanks, man.
Cue Anthony over to ask the question we ask every guest, which Anthony's the best at asking. So
fuck yeah.
Well, I'm admitting it. All right.
Hey! There you go.
I mean, Jason, you're a fan, so you know where we're going right now.
I'll be dabbling with you. Give me like an hour or so. I'll be dabbling with you. I can't resist.
Yeah, dude, you're definitely gonna be hitting that thing before we get off.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, how we do it is whoever wants to go first. Let's hear those histories, dude. Take us back to when this shit started getting important. Music in general, like picking up an instrument, or just what's the music that got you hooked into this art?
Man, do you want to go first, Alex?
No, you go ahead. You got the history with the first history with the band. So
yeah. Well, for me, I grew up in a my parents are semi-musically inclined. I guess I don't know. Let me start this off by saying I grew up in a house. My parents just loved music. My parents were huge music fans. They loved music. My dad still has a giant vinyl collection and a CD collection that he would show me all the time when I was a kid. Like my earliest memories with music, I remember listening to bands like The Police, Rush, nice. Tears for Fears, Yes, King Crimson. My dad was a big prog guy.
Sweet,
and so I think what really made me want to start playing music was my dad. He never really like did anything with it, but my dad is a drummer. He played drums when he was real little, like when he was growing up in the Polish neighborhood of Chicago. And he never really like had any other friends that played music. So he never really went anywhere with it. And he only took like lessons for a little bit. He was a big, like, I'm going to learn by ear guy.
Did you grow up in the same house your whole childhood in Chicago?
I grew up in the same house, not the same house my dad lived in, but okay. We lived in a small house, like, I don't know, Alex, it's not the west side. It's like the border of the burbs in Chicago, kind of, is where I grew up. But my dad's 40th birthday, for like a midlife crisis gift, my mom got him a drum kit. And, you know, when you're a kid and you see that shit, it's just like, you see these giant cymbal stands and these big ass drums, and it makes a huge noise. And it was in my head, I was always just like, holy shit, this is the shit, you know? But I always wanted to play guitar, which was kind of funny. So like, when I was younger, around like when I was a kid, like, you know, in elementary school and stuff, I always used to love listening to Q101, which was like the alternative rock station here in Chicago. So I mean, my first exposure to metal was, of course, like, and me and Alex were born in 91. So like my big exposure to me was new metal. So like I was into shit like Limp Bizkit. I liked a lot of regular alternative rock like Green Day. I loved Blink-182 when I was a kid because Travis is still a sick drummer. And eventually I started really getting more into prog stuff that my dad liked. Like my dad had this, he got it as a gift. He had this King Crimson box set. I wish I remembered exactly what it was called because they have a billion box sets. But it was like a retrospective of their career. And so I got to hear stuff from like, you know, when Greg Lake was in the band, then when John Wetton was in the band, then when Adrian Belew was in the band. And to just hear this band like come up with such interesting and especially at the time, you know, groundbreaking music, it was just so exciting to me. And like bands like that, bands like Rush, bands like Yes, like all these progressive bands, I was just kind of like floored by them when I was younger. And I feel like for a long time, I never really got it because I was listening to that at such a young age. So like I ventured off and got into metal. When I really got into metal, the story I always tell is I was in middle school and one of my best buddies, his name is Eric. We were in 7th grade together. We weren't even friends at the time. We like hated each other. We were in the same homeroom together, and there was this kid in our homeroom named Graham that we both didn't like. And one day I was walking by our lockers and I saw Eric was trying to break into Graham's locker. And I was like, yo, what are you trying to get in there, dude? And he's like, he's got a CD case in there. And I was like, okay. So I helped him like rip the fucking door off. And we stole an edited copy of System of a Down's Toxicity and an edited copy of Disturbed's Believe. And I didn't know they were edited at the time, and they were scratched to fuck. Like you could listen to a few songs off of them, but then it would start skipping and shit. And like at one point I remember like a few days after that, I was like, why don't I just buy these fucking CDs? Like, I don't give a shit. And I let my buddy keep them, and he gave them back to the kid anyway. But I remember we gave them back to the kid because he like told on us, and we probably could have gotten in a lot of trouble. But like, I remember telling him, I was like, yeah, dude, these are edited anyway. It's bullshit. And he was like, what? No, they're not. And I'm like, motherfucker, I know. Like, I know when David Draymond is telling me to fuck off, okay? And he's not doing that on this record. So
they'll screw off.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Yeah. And it was those edits where they didn't even like bleep him. It was just like the silent.
Or, I was just about to say, it's probably just like off.
Yeah, dude. It was like when I was a kid too, and I wanted to get the Eminem show when that came out, because like it was way before I liked metal, and I thought it was going to be. I was like, this is the baddest, toughest shit ever. And then my mom got it. My dad got it for me without really knowing what it was. And then my mom found out, and she was like, she took it away from me. It was like the only time my parents ever did that. And then I remember I got an edited copy of the CD, and it was like all the fucking fun shit was gone. And I was like, no.
But
I
probably
would say,
was like Walmart is the one that would sell only.
Yeah, I think Walmart probably had a lot to do with that. I mean, even like it went as hard as like, you know, when Slipknot came out with the self-titled Wait and Bleed, they literally took out the yelling during the chorus and then they made it all singing. They're like, there's certain parts where it's just all singing, and like it wasn't even the words that he was saying. It was like they were so worried about like the youth or whatever that like the yelling was freaking people out, you know?
Wow, that's fucking weird. I've never heard about that. That's wild.
Yeah, it's like the MTV. It's like the MTV edit or something. Might have been Walmart.
I got that. I remember where I bought that CD. I bought that CD at Sam Goody in the Ceremony Mall. Do you guys
probably paid like $22 for it or something? Because remember back like Sam Goody was expensive.
I think it was $19.99 or some shit like that. Yeah.
Sam Goody had some good shit though, man.
They
did.
I got Atheist, like all the Atheist discography there.
Nice.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. You find some gems in those like kind of big, you know, like I remember. You guys remember Blockbuster Music? That was there was a Blockbuster
Music.
Yeah, it was Blockbuster, and we had a Blockbuster in town. There was a Blockbuster.
Did you rent
music.
CDs from it?
No, you didn't rent CDs.
Was it just like a record store?
It was a record store.
Dude,
it was a record store.
Weird. Yeah,
I'm gonna go rent that new Deicide, dude. I'm
gonna rent that new Deicide.
Rent that Once Upon the Cross, dude.
Yeah, they literally had like one thing they did really cool was that they had like those listening stations like dialed in for the time of the 90s. You know, like it wasn't like there wasn't like internet to go like look at things, but they had like stations with like 10 different. They had like 10. No, this is way before that. It was like it was like they have like 10 CDs in there that you could like check out. Yeah. It's like you have like I want 1 or 4 or whatever to listen to the CD. But you could actually go there and like they had like stations and stuff. Yeah, they had like a bunch of them too. So it was like on per genre, they had like a fucking listening station for all that shit. But I've bought so many like most influential albums from like Sam Goody or like
the Warehouse, dude.
Warehouse was huge. Yeah.
Did you guys have Warehouse in
Chicago? In Chicago? No. Okay.
No, we didn't. We had like, for the chain stores, we had Coconuts. We had some Sam. Yeah, we had Tower Records. We had Sam. We did have Sam Goody, but I don't know if there was any in city limits actually. Yeah, no, FYE. Like Coconuts ended up becoming FYE after a certain period of time for us. But yeah, Sam Goody was in like malls in the burbs, dude. There definitely was no Sam Goody at fucking Harlem and Irving.
That's where we all started, dude.
I would get a lot of my shit at like Best Buy, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, so for me, it was Circuit City. Circuit City, they had like, I ended up like working there for a long time when I was touring. But literally, like they had CDs that were literally like $9.99 and shit. Like back then, that was like unheard of because
sick deals, man.
Totally.
Well, the whole opening week.
Man.
It'd be like $7.99.
Well, you know, the whole purpose behind that was because I worked there for a while, was that they have all like the movies and CDs in the middle. So they drag you in and then they have all the electronics outside. So like when you go in there, you're going like, okay, well, CDs, and you're like, oh, that TV looks pretty sick. You know, that's basically that's why they sold they made like no money on music and videos and DVDs and stuff, because they were like that was just to get you in the door.
But that used to be rows though at Best Buy. There was rows of CDs back in the day.
Oh yeah, totally.
Dude, I bought a fuckload of King Crimson CDs and Opeth CDs at Best Buy.
Now it's just like a half a row.
So sorry to interrupt, but there's like the most insane lightning storm going on outside.
Oh shit!
David was all texting me. I opened my window. You're gonna see some flashes going on.
I saw one.
I see it.
My dog is freaking out. It's like thunder. It's brutal.
Oh, you know what you should do? Actually,
my dog is the same way during storms.
You don't need to do this, but I feel like you should like turn off all your lights so we can just see the lights.
That'd be I know. Okay, I'll do it, dude.
For a minute.
I'll do it for a minute. I want to see that. I just want to see every flash.
There's magic happening over the airwaves tonight. That's what.
Hell yeah.
I'll do it like in a minute though. Like I'll come. Yeah. Continue with what you guys were talking.
We're just talking about the chain store, Circuit City, all that stuff like that. That actually was Circuit City was instrumental in me like finding so many bands, and they had so like literally, dude. I've told Anthony and Casey about this too, but I literally was working at Circuit City and they had Odious Mortem there when I was in Odious Mortem.
That's fucking dope, dude.
One of those made it moments, and I don't know if I've already said it on the podcast. Nice, Casey. Sick. I was in Florida and and I was on vacation with my family. I was in Disney World, and they in their downtown Disney area.
Megastore, yeah.
It's a Virgin Megastore, dude.
I got a bunch of shit on vacation when I was a kid.
Dude, so I'm flipping through CDs, and fucking Odious Mortem's got its own section and shit, dude. I'm like,
nice, dude.
I'm like, I don't even know what how far that's away from my house, but at least 2,000, 3,000.
Got some flashes over there.
Yeah, that light.
Unique Leader had the reason why we got that kind of shit is because Unique Leader had a Sony deal, so they were working with Sony. So Sony was like so they had Sony distribution. That was like their main like selling points. Like,
so my parents, they went back because I freaked out. I was like, dude, they got Odious CDs here, and my parents went back without me knowing. They stole the divider. They stole they bought the CD and kept the receipt and fucking put it in like a recessed fucking.
Do you still have it?
Yeah, dude, I got it.
That's
in storage.
Funny.
I haven't hung it up, but it's like in a deep frame,
That's
so
awesome.
it's got room for everything in there. It's fucking faded Virgin Megastore receipt with Odious Mortem on the receipt, dude.
Which album was it that you found there?
Cryptic.
Nice.
They had Cryptic and they had Devouring.
Hey, there you go, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. And they had Severed, but that was before I was in the band. They had Brutality.
And as you can tell, like after that happened, we just made so much money that we were just like, dude, we're just rich now.
Yeah, you're good. Shit's in the Virgin Megastore.
I gotta stare at Casey's.
Casey,
dude, the thunder was like a bomb just now, dude. It was.
I can't even hear it, but I see it. Though.
I can't hear it. I can see the lightning though. It looks really
I can
cool.
see it. This is the
Like
sickest backdrop ever.
Like
dude.
hovering outside of your apartment, dude.
Let me see. Okay, just for a minute, I'm going to see if I can like
be
on full screen and get some of these lights. Possibly, like I'm not usually on full screen, but
go run a microphone over to the window and just let it sit there to hear the thunder.
Gonna happen in 3.
So like I'm on full screen.
Watch it just stops. It just doesn't do it.
No.
So Jason, you were back at getting introduced to metal and shit and ripping so you got the edited CDs.
Stealing CDs, we stole some edited CDs. Even before that, I kind of like fucked around with metal. Like I bought I don't think that's a word. I bought Slipknot's third album actually at a Circuit City when I was in like 5th grade because I saw the music video for Duality on AOL Music, and I saw the part where they're like hitting the fucking garbage cans with. So
was that your first introduction to Slipknot?
That was my first intro. I knew who they were, but I had never really listened to them before, and I was like, "Oh, this song is kind of cool." So I picked it up, and like that was probably the first time I ever heard a blast beat was like on that album, but I didn't know what the fuck it was at the time. I was like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
I was really young, and
it just sounds like a roll when you don't really know.
Yeah, I'm just like, this sounds like chaos. I thought it sounded cool.
It sounds like your head's being beaten.
Yeah, pretty much. And when you're, that young, it's just like eating a lot of sugar. You know what I mean? Where you're just like, oh my God, this is the shit. And I sort of had this like once after I jacked those CDs and way after Slipknot, I kind of tried to get back into like more of that traditional metal stuff. Like I went back and started buying Metallica CDs, Black Sabbath CDs, the classics, Iron Maiden.
You subliminally knew that you needed to go like,
oh yeah, I knew new metal.
Do
was
your due diligence with that shit.
Yeah,
to really understand it all.
Yeah, so I got all the classics, and then I started listening, and then eventually it led to like I was really big on Pantera. Then eventually I started getting into more like, I guess like melodic death metal stuff. Like I got really into like In Flames, Soilwork, all those Swedish bands like Dark Tranquillity and Darkane. And
were
stuff
you
like
playing during all this?
I was just like, I was playing drums, but I wasn't really playing metal drums yet. I was kind of just fucking around on the kit, learning whatever I could. And that was kind of like the beginning of when I wanted to be in a band. And then I remember I had heard, it was like 2 specific death metal records for me. It was Behemoth's Demigod and Annihilation of the Wicked by Nile. That was just like,
same here.
I have to do this.
Same fucking story. I think we talked about this on my episode with you. That it was like those are the ones.
Dude. Like as soon as you hear "Cast Down the Heretic," it makes you want to like pile drive somebody next to you through a fucking trailer or something. It's so heavy, and it's just the production on that record makes me just want to like beat the shit out of somebody. I guess I would never do that, but it's really tough. And that was kind of that and Miasma by Black Dahlia was kind of like, that's like when I was like, all right, I'm going to be a death metal drummer. And I learned how to play blast beats to a vulgar picture and tried to learn a bunch of songs on that album, like Flies and shit. And I was able to half-ass my way through them, probably like I would now anyway. But that was pretty much, that was pretty much it for me as far as metal went. And then just as I grew, it was like exposure to all these different bands, up and coming bands at the time too. Like, the Faceless was hot at the time, like in 2008 when I was in high school. Planetary Duality dropped and that changed the game.
Was there a scene? Like, were you aware of a scene yet at that time?
Honestly, in Chicago, I wasn't really part of much of a death metal scene at the time. Like, I was just kind of discovering it with my friends. We didn't know of a lot of other death metal bands at the time, like especially kids that were our age. It was really like few and far and in between. Like, I knew Alex actually in high school, like inadvertently, we had kind of known each other, even though we went to like completely different high schools and lived like an hour away from each other.
We played that show together in 2009.
We played shows together. I would see Alex and Alex's older brother Max is our guitar player. I would see them going to shows all the time, and they would always have like the most fucking cred shirts. Like one of them wore a Canvas Solaris shirt once. I was like, I thought I was the only guy that knew who that band was.
Like literally just today, what's it called? Trevor's like in this band where they're like making them pick their top 15 albums that they're listening to right now, and he was just all, dude. He literally like right before this podcast, he was like, dude, Canvas Solaris, like why don't they get the love? Like they're like they've been around forever and they've been doing such cool shit for so long. Yeah,
and they just put out something too, like this.
They just did.
Yeah, they just put out a new one. Yeah.
I gotta check that shit out.
It's super sick.
Awesome.
It's super sick.
Super sick.
I really liked the Radiance.
We want to get them on too. We definitely
that would be fucking killer, man. Yeah, and it was just like when you're 16 or 17 and you see a dude with a Canvas Solaris shirt on, it's just like,
that's
like the headlights are on, dude. I'm like, what is going on?
Bend too. So that was
you really got to know what's up at that time, dude.
Was that in South Bend?
Yeah, we were like two. That was that show with fucking Periphery.
The Periphery show?
Yeah. Where Spencer Sotelo, it was like his first tour. He like threw up on stage.
Yeah, I remember that. We went to, it was in South Bend, Indiana, right?
Yeah, and then it was like Circle of Contempt, Veil of Maya, and someone else.
Animals as Leaders. They had
Animals as Leaders. That's right.
I think Veil was headlining.
Well, they switched because they always did like whenever they play by the hometown, they would always like
you're right.
Somebody or whatever.
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah. That was a crazy show.
That was a crazy show, especially at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was sick. And then I remember Max was wearing a Scar Symmetry shirt. So I was like, this guy's sick as fuck.
Fuck yeah.
And I was like, I was really into metalcore too at the time. Like I loved bands like Killswitch and shit, like old Killswitch when Howard was in the band.
That's a natural progression from like somebody who's into new metal,
Well, speaking of not natural, unnatural progression, I got into Killswitch in 2019.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I mean, the language was there. That's what I'm saying. Like you learn the language of new metal, then you can translate.
No, we used to literally we would take Anthony's iPod back when we were like when he was in Odious, and we would like we found that
when I was in Odious.
I mean, no, when we were like doing it, we were doing it constantly. But like when we actually, you might not even been in Odious, but like I remember being in your SUV and we pulled up your iPod, and you had Killswitch Engage in there. And we just started ripping on you. So we're like, my God. Because we were like, I had no idea what it was. And also, too, I was not down with like clean singing at all at the time.
You guys always rip on me. You ripped on me in a fucking interview. You and Ivan both teamed up on me because they asked me what kind of shit I was into. And Ivan's like, oh, no, the fucking Locust and Daughters. And I'm like,
those bands are sick,
like though, Frank Zappa and fucking.
I know. Also, too, I've mentioned this a million times in this podcast, is like when you're younger and shit and you're like more elitist and like you're in that. And also, too, I had friends like Josh Seitman, shout out. But he was like, if I ever showed him anything that was like, but he showed me all the cool shit though. So if I like.
But I was in the clean vocals before any of y'all motherfuckers.
Yeah, no, I got in way later.
Like Spiral Architect, you guys had to really fucking focus to actually make that one get. Dude. Like that one finally got you guys, but you guys had to look past the vocals for a while.
Me and Carrie were into that.
And then Spastic with you guys
Spastic was the one I showed you guys.
Only like the instrumental
Spastic,
album,
I showed you guys Spastic Inc. So
but like their fucking one with the vocalist on it is got some dope shit on it.
I still don't like because I just did the
and then Watchtower.
I was about to say
Watchtower.
That's like
Watchtower is sick.
One you gotta throw in there.
They were always like,
you gotta throw in that.
Dude, I love it, but the vocals, and I'm like, dude, just fucking.
Well, the only thing I didn't like because it'd be like shredding guitar, and he'd just be like, oh,
I know, dude. That stuff does make me cringe, but it's still like not enough to make me not want to listen to it because the music is so amazing.
Well, the music's so amazing. That's why I didn't want vocals on it because it felt like he was dancing around, like trying to make himself work in it. But I'm like, dude.
But that's the thing. Like
the
at
music
that
is
time,
so
you
insane.
understand like an instrumental band would never make it big, and Watchtower.
No, I get it.
You had to have a vocalist to like be something of interest. Because to bring it back, circle it back real quick to the vocalist being an important thing. That's why we're such a niche style of music.
Totally.
Because once you do that with the vocals, then you've already cut out like a huge, gigantic chunk of people who rely on the vocalist.
I still do. I mean, I listen to I've done tours with Animals as Leaders and stuff, and I always thought like this is perfect without vocals. But now I'm listening to them now, and I'm like, I know that's your thing, but I could use a little vocals now. You know, like you know what I mean? Like in the beginning, I was like, this is perfect. Like this makes all the sense in the world. But I listen to the new song and stuff, and I'm like, vocals would actually work pretty good right here. I'm just letting you know, there's a lot of space where things would work really good right there, and it's definitely like I know it's their thing, and I love it. Yeah, exactly. Well, I love those guys, like whatever. I'm just kissing butt now. Well, they know I love them. But it's one of those things where they blew everyone's fucking mind when they were opening for us like Animals, Yeah. So it's like we had to go after Slaughter. Yeah, the Summer Slaughter.
Yeah, I saw that in Chicago.
That was so fucked up. I even like I've said a million times, I was like, you guys are headlining this shit in 2 years. Just don't worry. It's all good. Don't worry.
Yeah, didn't they? In like 2 years?
They did. I called it. And they all like gave me props for it. But I remember like seeing like all the fucking people show up and just be like get there early and just be like the whole crowd was doing this move.
Baby.
There was like group. I was like, I haven't seen that in a death metal show. I was like, holy shit, this is weird.
Vital Remains and Animals as Leaders back to back was fucking insane.
Yeah.
What a Chicago on top of that, which is even weirder. But
I love that. I love that mix.
Yeah, I love that too.
Dude, that reminds me of like the Pound shows. I mean, you haven't mentioned the Pound in a while. Those are the types of shows that were there.
Dude, I love when you guys talk about the Pound, man. I've never even been there, but I love it, dude.
I wish I could throw everybody in a gigantic DeLorean and just bring them back to the fucking.
Or you could just come here and we'll hang out. We'll go to the flower shop that it is now, and we'll just be like, dude. So I saw fucking King Diamond and Nile play right here.
Nice.
And I saw it's just like a bunch of flowers like being shown.
I'd love to go, man. Dude, we're in California all the time anyway. So.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude,
hit us up,
every
man.
fucking tour we've done, we're always like in California for a while too. Remember in 2018 we played like those like 4 California shows back to back or whatever that was, right?
Yeah, that was in 2018.
Dude, four California shows back to back sounds like my style, dude. I love that.
It was the shit. I mean, for us, because we never, that was our first tour too, like as a band. Yeah. So it was pretty wild. But
is that still, so do you hold that? So that's a good question. So for me personally, like, our first tour, because we did little mini tours and stuff. And then we did the first like fucking national tour with like, it was like Deeds, Odious, Decrepit, Vile. And like,
what a sick lineup, dude. I would kill to see that today.
No, but just as far as like my memories, because I've been on some like humongous, in comparison, tours. Sure. But that tour still is like the first time when you're breaking out and you're going out and you're going to fucking Texas. You're going to fucking Nebraska.
You're out of money by the time you're at Arlington.
Yeah, you're
Heights.
broke as fuck and you're surviving. You're on survival mode.
Playing the fucking night. What was it called in Arlington Heights?
Knights of Columbus. Yeah,
Knights of Columbus.
It's just like
and here in Chicago, the Arlington Heights.
Yeah.
You guys played.
Oh, that tour hit that bloodletting
back in 2000.
Nuts.
5, 6.
Holy shit, dude!
And we talk about that too because
seeing that.
We were so broke and we just had we got there so early that we were like asleep in a field somewhere.
We slept underneath a tree across the street, and then we woke up, paid $5 to go shower at a local
swimming pool.
Swimming pool.
Dude, hell yeah, right there. Man. That's awesome. Yeah. Dude, I would seeing Deeds of Flesh at the Arlington Heights KOC, I would have.
That's where it was. It was Arlington Heights. That's exactly where it was. Yeah,
that's awesome. I know exactly. I've played there. I've played a couple different shows at that spot. I don't think they still do.
Yeah, it's got that bar in the back. It's separated from the venue.
You remember that? Jesus.
Yeah, dude.
I remember being outside a little bit.
It was low ceiling. Fucking the stage was actually off to the left.
I thought there was no stage. I thought it was on the floor.
There isn't a stage. Yeah, designated
okay.
Come on, stage.
Let me
remember. Okay, now I do remember.
Let me fucking spice it up just a little bit, dude. We had a stage, dude. What are you talking?
Dude, it's not. You're on this top of the stage. I'm stage left. You stage right. It's like it's floor left, floor right. Like it's like.
Yeah, dude.
Was there a fight after the show?
No, but
maybe
there was a crowd. There was
always fights at KOC.
Yeah, people.
All the
time.
Dude, all the fucking,
maybe there was, dude. There probably was.
The fucking heavy gangs would fucking meet up and fight.
Yeah, the hardcore gangs, dude. DSP,
the hardcore gangs.
Yeah, we had a big one.
We've had a few discussions about those guys.
Yeah, the crews, dude. The crews. Yeah. No.
Arlington Heights is probably like a half hour out from the city.
Is hardcore big in Chi-Town?
Oh my God! It's
at the time,
huge
especially.
in Chicago. It's still huge in Chicago. It's giant.
Like New York, Chicago, like those are like the big hardcore cities.
It definitely outweighs death metal for sure. Out here, at least. Like that's where I feel like, because everybody's always just like Chicago death metal, and I'm like, yeah, we got Broken Hope, and we got like a few other bands. I just saw
Broken Hope. We just saw Broken Hope 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Vegas Death Fest.
Gorgasm's from there too, right?
Or Psycho Las Vegas. We're from.
Am I right on that? Gorgasm,
yeah. They're from Indiana, I believe.
Oh, okay.
But a bunch of those guys, like I think a couple of them live in Chicago now. Whoever plays in that band these days, they're sick though. I love Gorgasm. But I know the singer lives in Indiana, and he's like the guy that's also in Broken Hope. At least I think he is. But other than that, like Oppressor, if you guys remember them,
fucking love Oppressor.
Fuck yeah,
dude. You know,
throwback.
What's funny is Bill, my co-host on Nothing's for No One. He is one of you guys know the band Soil, the alternative rock band.
Oh my God,
he's their guitar tech, dude. So he knows those guys pretty well, and like we're trying to get Tim King from Soil on our show to talk about Oppressor because he was the front man of Oppressor. So I'm
like,
what
the fuck?
Yeah.
So actually that makes so much sense. This makes so much sense because we were on tour with Vader. And
I'm fucking floored right now.
The Vader sound guy, Anthony, dude, would play the My Little Halo. You know, it's like their big hit.
That's the singer of Oppressor.
He would hold on.
Or a vocalist, excuse me.
He would play that as like his a sound check for the sound system because he's a sound guy. He would play a song by Toto and he'd play a song by Soil. Those are the two songs that he played every night when we were like he was testing the system to like EQ it and stuff. The guy, he's like from fucking Vader, the Polish sound guy. I fucking forget his name. I love him though. But every time we showed up there, just like My Little Heart, like every time we walked in, just be like we had it, and then all of a sudden like we're there, and I want to say it was Oklahoma, where we're all hanging out, and they're like, oh, this is the singer of Soil, and I was like, I didn't know the Oppressor link at all. Like I was like, we were just kind of going like. We were kind of nudging each other, like My Little Heart, like we were like joking around about it because like we heard it so many times that we're just like, dude, the guy from fucking Soil's here right now.
That's a bigger transition than dude from Trivium and
Capernaum. Yeah,
that's like a bigger transition going from.
Well, Oppressor is like a really literally like one of the fucking old school forefathers of their style. Like that's a really fucking legit band. Like totally, as far as if you go back far enough, like that's like. Yeah, and they're fucking like technical. They're crazy,
and fast.
Oppressor was ahead of its time. I think it just came out too early. I think honestly, I think they would have been a lot bigger if they came out later. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't. People weren't ready for it. I don't think
so either, man. And it's like those records. I was just listening to one a few months ago. It still holds up. Like that shit still holds up. I just don't think those guys. I mean, I don't know, obviously, their personal reasons for any of that shit, but like, I'm dying to try and get that Tim King dude on our show just so I can be like, let's
or just
go,
like an Oppressor reunion. I think an Oppressor reunion would do decent. You know what I mean?
That would, I do too. I don't think it's ever going to happen though. No, because those guys still do Soil like all the fucking time.
Oh yeah, Soil pays the bills.
Yeah, it's gotta. So
totally.
I don't know, but anyway, I'm sorry. What were we?
We were in Chi-Town. We were in Chi-Town. Just you were.
Chi-Town. Yeah, like with death metal and stuff around here, like it was there, but it was also like the time like me and Alex were in high school. What was it, like 2006 to 2010? Like that's when deathcore was popping off, and like
every band was that.
Every band from around here was like big into deathcore, and I like some deathcore. I'm not like the type of metal guy that's like no.
Me too. Me too.
That was like the big thing, you know. That was the big thing back then, at least, and like. Veil of Maya and Born of Osiris were really big around here.
Totally
huge.
Yeah, I went to
bands. I'm down.
Bands, I'm down. Mark and Sam from Veil both went to my high school, actually, way after I went. But like around like our crew and like the people that went to my high school, they were like legends, you know, because it was like I remember I was 15 and that tour that first tour they did when they got signed on Sumerian with Vader and like Malevolent Creation shit got announced, and I was just like, holy shit, a band from this school, like guys from here are touring with Vader, like that's insane. But Dude. And now they're touring with like Damske Dance, which is even more fucking insane.
I mean, it's really cool seeing, because I mean, Casey has been on probably with Decrepit. We've done probably 3 or 4 Veil of Maya tours. Like, those guys were our buddies on tour. Those were like the people we hung out with the most. Was Veil of Maya.
I used to think the union of Decrepit Birth and Veil of Maya was so fucking sick, dude.
Totally.
And I can't even like explain it in words, because it was like I loved Veil of Maya. I always had. I thought they were sick back then. I still think they're sick now. And like Mark's an awesome dude, but like, you know, regardless, it was just like I remember I saw Veil of Maya at the Arlington Heights KOC, and Sam was wearing a Diminishing hoodie, and I was like, dude.
That's probably after the tour with us. Yeah.
And he was just like, we just got off tour with them. They're the shit. I'm like, oh, I know they're the shit. And like, oh man, it was just in my head.
Oh, they're great
so
dudes.
Cool. Yeah, it was just so cool to see like this death metal band that I thought was like the king of all kings, not the Hate Eternal pun, but like you know, like then like this union of like Veil of Maya playing more like breakdowns and shit like that, and stuff that wasn't super conventional in death metal, to be with you guys who were like shredding at the time.
Well, the thing about like is that a lot of people don't know about Veil of Maya, because Veil of Maya like was one of those bands when we first started out and were touring with them. I was kind of just elitist, wanted to not like, you know what I mean? Like as far as like, because I didn't know really their style or anything, and I was like, and I was like hanging out with them in the beginning of like the tours and stuff, and I was like, is this really gonna mesh? I don't really know if this is gonna mesh. And then like watching Mark play guitar and watch Sam play drums, I was like, these guys are fucking insane. Like Mark would literally, with a loop station live, that shit would blow my mind. Nuts, like he would literally start, like he does a riff through the loop station, and then he plays it backwards, and that's how they start their fucking set. And I would just be like,
remember. Yeah,
and it would just stress me the fuck out watching him, because I'd be like like watching him, like he has to nail it perfectly forwards. So it works backwards, and then it works with the little, like with the kind of Meshuggah breakdown that he does over it. And I was dude, he's doing that all live though. It's not like a sample. He's doing that, like the fact that he's taking that risk used to scare the shit. Oh yeah, he scared the shit out of me. I was like, every time I'd watch him, I'm like, don't fail. Like, and he nailed it every time. And then fucking Sam would come in, and they were like talking about how they like count out, like there's like lost rhythms they have in there, like the show Lost and stuff, and like all the cool stuff like that. Yeah, and that was like the way they were approaching music. Once I like finally like let my guard down, was like from like death metal guy, and like finally like put it down, and I was like, these guys are fucking insane, dude. Like, like musician wise, they're just mind blowing, you know?
Yeah, crazy talented dudes. And it was inspiring to me at the time. I mean, a kid in high school that like just wanted to play metal, like seeing that trajectory they were on, it was just like, fuck, you know, I gotta find a way to do this.
Yeah, there would be there was a time too. I remember we played a show. Wow, where's it? Is After the Burial from around there too?
They're from Minneapolis. Yeah.
So okay,
not that far, but like.
So is that where Born of Osiris is from too?
No, they're from here. They're actually from a suburb called Palatine, which is like right outside of the city.
Because we toured I did a tour with all 3 of those bands once, and I forget what we played we played the Minneapolis, the Purple Rain Club, the studio, whatever. It's right next to the Minnesota Timberwolves stadiums where Purple Rain was filmed. But
oh shit.
And like literally like it was like a competition. It might have been between Veil of Maya and Born of Osiris, or Veil of Maya and After the Burial. I forget who it was, but it was kind of like this like joking competition, because like everyone was there to see them. Basically, it was like we were on tour with Necrophagus and all this crazy shit, but those 2 bands got the sickest, like craziest response. You know what I mean? They were like, I was like, damn, you guys are fucking huge here. Like there were bananas there, like in Minneapolis.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Like that was definitely like just understanding that scene, understanding like where they're coming from, and they're big obviously around the world, but like seeing them in their like environment, I was like, holy shit, dude, you guys are legends here, you know.
It's called First Avenue in Minneapolis.
First Avenue.
Nice.
Dude, that was such a legendary thing because I love Prince, and I went upstairs and like there's like this whole like poster thing of Purple Rain. It's like so sick, dude.
Yeah, fuck
that's so killer, dude.
Yeah.
Just
that's
like
awesome.
Watching Necrophagus with there.
But yeah, I feel like I've been talking a shitload, Alex. If you want to fucking go for your origin story, go for it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I can go for it. And we can meet up and talk about the start of the band.
You want to talk into the mic a little closer, actually?
Good deal, kid. Alex with that fucking mic, man.
Hey.
What is that? A blue? You got a blue microphone there? Would you get it from work?
That is crazy.
No, I've had this for like fucking 7 years or some shit.
You sound way sick right now.
I do.
Yeah, right there.
Oh man, he sounded like sick good or like
what's
actually
sick? What sick are you saying?
Oh yeah, so we're gonna do a preface. So Alex, to everyone, is just recovering from COVID. So dude is like, props to him for showing up on this because that's fucking sick. That like he's recovering and all cloudy and trying to deal with it and handling it. So, anyways,
he's a survivor.
Body with a chance of meat logs.
Meat logs, yeah, dude.
Yeah, meat logs,
sausage
dude.
Coffee, dude. Let's go.
Yeah,
sausage coffee.
Sausage coffee, man. Everything kind of tastes like sausage. Fucking chicken tastes like sausage. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I don't like it.
It's that kielbasa gene, dude. It's coming out.
Water,
man.
Water.
Chicken tastes like sausage. Tastes like sausage. Dude.
Sausage flavored
water has a weird sausage.
Chicken tastes. I
don't know.
Didn't Limp Bizkit make an album about that? Oh, it's hot dog flavored water.
Yeah.
But anyways,
COVID flavored
hot
water.
Hot dogs and sausage.
Yeah, the COVID flavored water, dude. Alex Damske and the COVID flavored water. Let's go, dude.
COVID with a chance of fucking sausage, fucking water.
I love that movie.
You guys are killing me.
Dude, I love how everything tastes like sausage. Dude, chicken tastes like sausage. Got me.
It sucks ass, dude.
I kind of want that like on a shirt.
Chicken tastes like sausage. Yeah, dude.
After COVID, chicken tastes like sausage.
The reality is living it. But you came out on the other side of it, dude. You're a survivor.
I survived, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm a goddamn patriot.
Kid. Arguing with somebody at a bar because you had COVID and you're defending yourself for having. I'm a survivor.
Yeah, dude. I'm a goddamn patriot.
Yeah, love that.
That's a sick line. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to the history of you, Alex. Like, where did you start? What got you into music? What made you pick up stuff? And
so I mean, my parents aren't really musical. Like, my mom likes like The Cure and shit is like her favorite band. But like my dad doesn't listen to anything. Like his favorite song is like A Weem Away, or whatever the fuck. The lion sleeps tonight and shit. Like that's. Or like Johnny Cash, like he doesn't really listen to music. He kind of just doesn't give a shit. But like my mom always liked stuff. She would always like play stuff around the house and shit. But like me and my brother, we got into metal because of like our older cousin. Like I was just listening to like, like radio 90s shit. Like I really liked Vertical Horizon and like Third Eye Blind and shit.
Yeah.
And then like he showed us Metallica and Megadeth and shit. And he's like 6 years older than me. He's like 3 years older than my brother. So it's like just fucking older kids showing you cool shit.
Totally.
So, yeah. So like, I got into Metallica and it was like I was in like fourth grade, like listening to that shit and Megadeth and all that stuff. And then
was he making you like mixtapes and shit?
Yeah, like he would get like fucking mix CDs from his like boss at Jewel and shit. Like when he was working there, and then he would like show us like all the fucking.
Are you talking about Jonathan?
Yeah, our cousin.
Hell yeah! Shout out Jonathan. He fucking is an awesome dude.
Yeah, he's got he's a straight laced guy. He's got a family and stuff, but he's still fucking heavy as shit, But yes, then he would like show us weird shit. I remember there was one fucking CD he showed us that had like it was like a compilation CD and it had this Sepultura song called Kill Cop on it.
I think I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah.
It was like a live version. He was like, "Yo, we had the song we called it Antichrist. We had some fucking trouble with the cops, so we called it Anti-Cop, and now we just called it Kill Cop."
So it wasn't Policia. It wasn't Policia. It wasn't Policia, right? Because they had a song called. Are they on their live?
It was just called Kill Cop, man.
Okay,
I thought it was so fucking like. I thought it was like sick as fuck, you know.
It is sick as fuck, dude.
Yeah,
Kill
it was
Cop.
like fucked up.
And then Morbid Angel later on was all
body counts like they got away with it.
Dude, that song was rough, man. I remember the first time I heard that Morbid Angel song, and I was like, I don't know what is fucking happening. Like, I wanted to like it too.
Me too.
I was just like, I don't think I can.
You remember that, Anthony? Do you remember that? You guys remember that? It's like the newer. It's the Morbid Angel one where it's like they're taking a different direction and like
one of the Divinum Insanus.
It was their I album, right?
Yeah, and they were like, it was like they had a song called. It was just called.
I was so scared. I was so scared by the internet that I didn't really go deep in it at all.
Well, they had a song it goes like kill a cop, 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 kill a cop. I swear that's like how they started or something like that, right? Am I right?
It's like some electronic shit and like dance music mix in, and
I'm just like, dude,
I don't know,
guys.
dude.
That's like the Trey stuff, right? On that album.
Was it the Trey stuff?
I mean, it's like I don't think Dave touched that side of the album.
But what's that new one? What's the new one with Tucker back on vocals?
Yeah. That one's really
fun. Yeah.
That's
Anthony, that album's hard as fuck, dude.
It's hard as fuck, dude.
Yeah, dude. That album's it's like weird. I love that record, Kingdom Sustained. It's so fucking good.
Fuck yeah.
And not enough people talk about it either, in my opinion. Like people should be talking more about that stuff. But
yeah, it was weird. It was like it had a big like when it was coming out, it had like a big like media splash. Like everyone was talking about it, then it came out and just kind of like went away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it came and went.
Totally.
I've seen the shirt.
I still think that record's awesome.
Totally.
Me too. And I was excited Tucker coming back because Gateways was such a powerful record me too.
That's probably my favorite Morbid Angel one.
That's my favorite one.
And being naive and that being my first introduction, you know, I never really gave David Vincent the full respect he probably, you know, he definitely deserves for being the first vocalist of Morbid Angel.
And he has a sick fucking
Tucker has always been Morbid Angel vocalist.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
fucking brutal,
man.
Dude.
I even think Heretic is a sick record personally.
I love that record.
First one I heard, it kicks ass. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Wait.
Because that's a good record, and everybody is like, "Oh, it wasn't that good for the time." It's like, get the fuck over it. It's so sick.
Yeah.
Pete, let me hear your kick drum.
So sick. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that shit, dude.
I remember showing that to my uncle who's totally into Rush, and then he's like, "Wait, drums can be played like this too?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, dude, they fucking can."
That's funny, man.
It's totally different styles, obviously, but he's just, you know, he exposed me to Rush, and I got to expose him to something that made him trip out too, you know.
The last song on Gateways is so sick, and like those like Rutan
is that the one
solos.
with the Rutan solos in it?
Oh
dude?
my goodness, dude, those are so epic and so rad. It's like pre-Vital Remain, or like Dechristianized at least, or it's kind of like that, but it's like Hate Eternal. It's like, you know. I mean,
you go back to the earlier Vital Remain shit. It's got some more Floridian feel to it.
Hell yeah,
earlier stuff. Yeah. It's actually fucking still heavy too, but Dechristianized is definitely
yeah. That's that.
Makes my kids fucking
head bang.
Yeah.
So Dechristianized is that album you put on, and it's just like every song you're like, let's fucking go.
Bananas.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see that with like the lineup with like Dave Suzuki and like Glenn Benton and stuff? And
I saw where Glenn wore the mask and the fucking spikes.
I got to see it. It was insane.
Yeah, I saw it at the Pound, dude.
I came in way too late. Oh well, unfortunately, Glenn Benton was already like done doing live shit with them. They had I forget that vocalist that had like the insane, almost like Jerry Curl-esque hair, like that really long, like wavy brown hair, and he would wear the spiked gauntlets.
The one that opened when we did the Animals Leaders tour?
Yes, yeah, that guy. Okay. That was like I saw them once before that show.
I fucking forget his name like a jerk, but R.I.P. dude, that guy passed away.
Oh, fuck, man. I'm so sorry to hear that. And I did not mean to disrespect him by that hair comment. I legit thought it was sick.
No, I found that out later, and I was cool with them on tour and stuff, but I randomly just heard that like a few years ago. I was like, what? Like, damn, it's crazy just knowing all these people. Just it just happens with the amount of people that you know, and as you increase that number, the variable goes up that more people are going to pass away. It's just it sucks, but
it's nuts, man.
Yeah, especially it's Facebook and stuff. You just see like it seems like every month there's like what it's like one of those it's constant But actually, I want to get back on Alex. So you're talking about the Kill the Police or the Kill Cop song?
Yeah, just he would show us like cool shit like that, and I really liked. I don't know. I think like what I initially liked about the music was like fucking like cool like journeys of songs and shit. Like Metallica would always take you one place and then you go another place and shit. Exactly. And I really like that, so I ended up getting into like Rush and like prog kind of stuff. Like I was really into Dream Theater for a while, who I wouldn't defend most of their discography, but Images and Words and Awake are still both like fucking great records.
I agree.
But but yeah, I mean, that was I kind of went off into like prog power stuff. I was really into Symphony X. I was really into Blind Guardian and shit.
The Odyssey, dude.
Oh, fuck yeah.
The Odyssey fucking rules, man. I bought that at Best Buy, and I fucking
that song too. Yeah. That song, that's the journey.
When I was Best Buy CD, dude. That's such a great Best Buy album.
Perfect example of what you're saying, dude.
When I was in high school, we had like a male talent show called Mr. NVHS, and like senior year high school, like
Mr. Neuqua Valley High School. Is that what it was? That's Mr. fucking NVHS. Awesome.
And we all like me and a bunch of my friends like signed up, and we all like got in, and it was like and for my talent, I sang Triumphant Champion of Ithaca, like the ending of that fucking song.
Damn.
You never told me this. You never mentioned this.
There's like a DVD of it somewhere.
No shit.
Do you have footage of it?
Somewhere.
Max has got to have it on one of his.
Well, I think it's a DVD. I don't think it's on the computer or nothing. I think it's just on a DVD. It's somewhere in my house.
It needs to be digitized. It's from the 90s.
Yeah.
Yo, let's send that shit over to Malcolm, dude, from Artisan, and he'll fucking put it on the next release, dude. We'll get that, that enhanced CD, so you put it in the computer and you get to access, the special content, whether it's a music video or whatever the fuck it happens to be. You got that covered, dude.
Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't win, but it was fucking awesome. I sang,
awesome. And you should have won.
I sang that song. I should have fucking won. Sam I won. I don't even remember what he did. He probably sucked his own cock on stage. He
definitely did. He had footage of that shit too, Sam.
That's pretty sick.
And what he win with? What fucking song did he do?
He probably I don't know. He fucking he stuck something up his pee hole and fucking showed everybody.
Good sounding,
Dude, this fucking school sounds fucking sick, dude.
It is. It was Illinois, man. School, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I sang that song. It fucking ruled. But anyway, back to.
I love it. Wait, real quick. I love how nobody in that crowd probably knew that song and how awesome you probably felt doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I bet it was sick as fuck.
My mom made me like a fucking like a robe thing too to wear, like I was the fucking.
Dude, you gotta see this footage.
What grade was this? How old were you?
I was a senior in high school. I was like 18 years
old. Bro, I didn't know that.
So you guys' one of your guys' next podcasts, you have to release this footage. This needs to be
if we have
I think it's actually. It's probably in this drawer that I'm looking through right here.
It's in the drawer. It's that close. So you guys.
I mean, it's some. Yeah, I mean, it's somewhere in this room.
We might sure with how long these podcasts go, we probably digitize it and then upload
it. It's a Cali Death exclusive, dude.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
That Warforged cover of that Symphony X song that none of us but Alex were on.
Yeah, I love that because I re-recorded all the guitars and shit because I didn't know how to isolate get the vocals off the track, so I like re-recorded it all, and I had to in order to fucking
that is talent.
Yeah, well, in order to fit. I don't remember why I did it, but I extended
That's not easy to do.
I extended the fucking like solo section so I could like, you know, pump up the crowd more. I can't remember. So it's like there's like a little bit. There's like a. It's not a song. Like, it's an extra like key change part that I key changed and I did like extra solo and shit. Like I took many personal liberties.
That's fucking awesome, dude. I fucking love this.
So I don't know how I've never heard that before. Yeah, like, even from Max, I've never heard that. And that's not something you would hide. That's probably just one of those things that's like recessed that you're like, oh yeah, I did that.
Yeah, it is. I always forget about. I mean, I forget about high school constantly.
Forget about it.
You forget about it.
I don't remember any of that shit anymore.
So were you know bands or anything during high school for either one of you?
Yeah, there was.
Oh no, we had.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just don't really talk about it. I mean,
me and Max were in a band.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was in a band called Sensory Deprivation, and we were just essentially like hijacking the Faceless and Animals as leaders in one, or we were trying to.
Fuck yeah.
And you know, Gent was popping off, so we were like, Periphery's cool, like all these, and I still think Periphery's fine. They're a cool band, but you know, like to the degree where it was like we were like, fuck, this is the new thing, we got to try it.
I mean, it was back then. It was so
didn't really make it that.
Well,
far.
still, I mean, for Periphery, for me, it's like, I mean, it really makes me like pretty bummed out that because there's that one, the first album where they had the vocalist one or no vocals on it, and like I used to have that on CD in my car when I lived in Sacramento for a while, and I
have that too in my collection.
I remember you saying, dude, listen to this.
So good. Like,
yeah, it is good.
The thing is though, I mean, I know
that was when you weren't down with the clean vocals, dude.
No, it's not necessarily that I'm not down with the clean vocals, but it just like I felt like, well, I heard that first. Someone showed me the instrumental first. And so I went, and then they added vocals on. I'm like, that doesn't work at all. So I was already
on
into
that record are rough, man.
It just didn't work.
I never actually listened.
But I heard that. I heard it first,
feathers.
though. But I heard the instrumental first, though. You know what I mean? So I got way into it, and then I heard it with the vocals, and I was like, like, you know what I mean? Because it like it fucked everything up on me. Like I was like, shit, totally flipped the script on me about that the feeling. I mean, it's amazing how much vocals change the feeling of a song. When especially with a band like that, which is so fucking amazing, like musicians and stuff, obviously, because you know.
There's no other genre of music, and I'm not saying this as a knock by any means, but I can't even think of another genre of music that I've heard more complaints about vocals than metal, and it goes both ways. You know, like we're talking about you know, like
good point.
People outside of the metal community that are like, I can't understand what the fuck they're saying. It's like, yeah, we get that bullshit. Get over it. But then on the other coin of it, it's like, I mean, there used to be a point in my life where I would hear singing in songs and be like, I fucking hate this now. And and I think it's rare these days that I even listen to music that doesn't have singing in it anymore.
I know, me too.
Mainly singing.
No, my last Spotify top 100 or whatever had like one death metal song in it.
Yeah. What was your number one artist last year?
Oh man, do I have to bring this up?
You don't have to. I'm sorry.
No. It's fine. No, I mean, because it was probably either that band. It's a prog band, Haken.
Oh yeah. Dude, I got a bunch of the Haken albums on CD. I collect CDs, man.
Oh, okay, cool.
So do I, dude.
Don't have that fucking vinyl money, man. CDs are where it's at. But,
yeah, exactly.
I got a bunch of cool Haken Deluxe CDs when they reissued. Inside Out reissued their first two records, and I think I have. Affinity is the last one I have, but I know they have a couple since then.
Yeah, for me, cool. Like it's a Vector and Virus, which was pretty fucked up for them because that was part of the because they had like the mountain. It's like part of the story, and then they like released Virus. They released Virus like a month or two after COVID, and they're like, everyone's like, "Oh, I see what you're doing." It's like, no, this is part of the story.
Yeah, I remember that
EP they did after the Mountain too is so fire. That like 3-song EP,
just the musicianship of that shit. I'm just like, fuck, because the singer is probably the least. I mean, I still like him a lot.
Yeah, but, he's good.
He's good. He's not like anything. He's like a blue collar singer where like you can tell like he's not naturally born with it, but he like earned it. Kind of like
definitely. That's a good way of describing it, man.
Yeah, I mean because Caligula's Horse. I don't know if you've heard the Caligula's Horse at all. From Australia. That singer's like a singer. You know, like a professional singer. You can just tell like two different sides of the coin. He has it like has a gift and sings. You know what I mean? Like his voice is kind of like has more of a higher pitch, so he can like hit notes and like do kind of crazy shit. But no, I actually like Yeah, that fucking prog shit, man. Like I'm reverse engineering. Like I said, I listened to fucking Killswitch Engage and got into them when I was in 2019 or 20. You know what I mean? Like I didn't like them my whole life. And
that's so funny.
And that's where that's where Alex was at.
Everybody.
That's where Alex was at in his story, though. Coming back.
I'm so sorry.
Prog shit. No, it's all good.
No,
you said prog. So that was Sorry, I had to hook you bringing up prog again because I'm bringing it back to Alex. He's getting
appreciate into prog. You, man. Good looking out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's I listened to a lot of prog shit. That kind of like led into death metal stuff. But I mean, yeah, 2005, 2006. That's around this era. That was like when metalcore was huge. So yeah, me and my brother were into like God Forbid and Killswitch Engage and all that shit. And that's kind of like what our band sounded like. Like we would try to, because that was the easiest shit to write. We were also really big into Eternity.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. That Cancer album was kind of emotional, dude. If you listen to it all the way through,
we did listen to it all the way through, not even like a month ago, and it was sick as fuck. Do you remember that? We did it at Jace's Lake House, right? That's where we listened to it. Love that band. Still to this day, I think they're sick. Shout out Into Eternity.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, fucking awesome. Hell yeah. Man. But yeah, we were really into them, and we were into Scar Symmetry. Yeah, like just throwing a lot of shit at the fucking wall when we were like we were in a band called Screams of Winter, and we did like all sorts of shit like that. We did like metalcore stuff, and we did like European influence shit. It didn't work at all, but we basically ripped off every band that like nobody else really liked in our fucking area. So like nobody when they would see us would like us and shit.
You're like, how can we be the sickest and impress no one?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I thought you guys were sick, dude, when we played with you that one
just saying, like no one's into it. It's like the styles that no one are into, and you're like, whatever, that's the sickest, dude. Let's bring it to the scene here. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. And then we would kind of rip off. I mean, like Death maybe was like the band we'd rip off that was like the most acceptable, but we were still like we wouldn't play with any fucking bands that gave a shit about stuff like Death. Like we were saying, it's like every band around here at that time, in 2006 to 2010 when we were playing shows, it was like deathcore. It was like that was so fucking every show was just gun dun 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 gun 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 shit like that.
Yep.
I fucking dude, I used to shit used to piss me off so much, man. Every band sounded the same, and then after that it was like,
if it's too saturated, for sure, I could see how you can get annoyed by something if you're too saturated.
Yeah, and then like in 2010, like on like to 2013, it was all like Under Oath type shit, or like bands that sounded like I don't even know, like shit I don't even listen to, like Woe Is Me or something. It's like stuff that like that. Like
post-hardcore, which I was
just about to say. It sounded when you said Under Oath, post-hardcore was like the first thing that came.
Not to go, not
so big,
and not to go in the weeds at all with this, but because I hear Under Oath get brought up a lot. So if you were to give because I've never listened to them, what should I listen to?
I don't know what they sound like.
I just got
I've literally heard one song.
I'm gonna write it down and erase it.
I like to think I'm an open guy when it comes to a lot of music, but Under Oath is just one of those bands that I see, and I'm not knocking them by any means, but they're just one of those bands I see people a lot of the time put almost on a pedestal, and it never really hit that way for me.
I think I've given them a shot, and I remember back in the day when people, and I remember it being underwhelming for me personally.
When I was a kid, I had their second record, They're Only Chasing Safety, because at the time I hadn't heard like this infusion of like Blink 182 vocals with screaming, and I was like, this is nuts. But it's just like afterwards, like people were like, oh, well, you should try their other stuff, and I would, and I just never got it. But respect to them, because they're giant and they have so much success.
No, they're killing it. Yeah.
My cousin that showed us all the metal and shit, like he used to really like Under Oath's like first EP that was from like 1998 or some shit. And I just remember there was like a 12-minute song where like half the song he's saying Jesus Christ I love you.
Oh yeah, it's a Christian band, right?
Yeah, Under Oath. But that was like really heavy-handed, and I was like, oh, this kind of sucks, dude. Like,
you're like, oh my God, you're like, fuck yeah, dude.
I also have a cousin. Shout out to Daniel. He's getting married next month, I'm going to his wedding.
Nice, congrats, Daniel.
He was
Under Oath, Daniel.
he was the cousin that was into like all that like emo and hardcore shit. And I remember just like he's like super good at guitar, and I remember just like, is this the cool stuff? Like, yeah. And I was like, I just couldn't do it. So.
Well, I remember, like, I mean, not to go too deep and
how many times are you gonna fucking say that?
Well, no, not to repeat ourselves, because we did it last podcast about me crying during Poison the Well. I
like that thing.
So right, so I mean that's where that style of music came from, was Poison the Well, and that's where all that shit bloomed from. And then that was like the because I remember hearing that going like, I don't know, this is not a genre, this is just metal. You know, there was no hardcore, there was no. That's a thing that now we throw on, and now you have a Poison the Well CD now, and people are like, oh, that's hardcore from, you know, it's like that was not a thing. It was like, oh, they're a metal band that like plays like a heavy style. I don't like they do breakdowns, those kind of like a Sepultura kind of dun dun dun.
But is it really post hardcore? That's what I'm saying. Like, or is it just like
that's a pre-hardcore?
Or current hardcore.
Hardcore is another
I don't
term.
even know what to call it.
Well, hardcore is another term that gets thrown around way too, like, because we're so specific with metal genres. We're so specific in every little thing that you do. But like, we call hardcore, and then there's hardcore that's just straight up punk, and then there's hardcore that has breakdowns. It's like heavy. It's like not fucking specified at which. I think
the dudes that are into that shit are really specific about it.
Okay, probably.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because I'm like, I use it as a blanket term. Post-punk. Joy Division.
Poison the Well.
No. What would you call Poison the Well? What would you?
Post-hardcore, I guess I would call them, or metalcore at heart.
Yeah, metal.
You know, like it just has a blanket term, metalcore. You know,
that's what's weird. It's like there's metalcore, and then like there's Converge, which is considered metallic hardcore.
Yeah. I don't.
For me, metalcore has that. Metalcore has that kind of at the gatesy kind of Swedish kind of riffing in my head.
Yeah, that's what I picture too, like Kill Switch Fans and As I Lay Dying and that.
Yeah, it's all
mix of stuff.
Like that kind of stuff. Yeah. But then with breakdowns or something, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's metalcore to me. That's what I think. So.
Remember, like way back in the day when people would be like, "Yo, Black Dahlia is a metalcore band," and it's like, what the fuck? Like,
I know it's like they might look like one, but they're not.
They're definitely
one.
Not. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
They're a melodic death metal band. But
I can see that, you know. I could see that alignment because that's how I like always fixate on metalcore too. I'm like, it's the American take on that Swedish style with much more of like an American.
And that's
influence.
exactly.
And the bills that they were on too. Like,
oh yeah.
And that's why even on the podcast we had with them, I was even saying like, I feel like you guys got so big so quick because you guys had the aesthetic of a metalcore band, but you guys played metal, like gnarly metal. But like, so you kind of reached for both things. You had the aesthetic of the metalcore humongous explosion that's happening right now, but then the death metal kids were like, this is sick, you know, like so you had both those things just kind of come together as like one thing. And that's why I told Trevor that, and he's like, yeah, that pretty much nailed it, you know. It's like, or for what they were doing, it's like, because they looked, you know, their original pictures like them like all like sad hair and like
Contagion
all the things, you know?
Video
exactly. You don't even recognize Brian in that video. Like he looks like some emo kid, and now he's just like the most metal guy I know. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just, it's basically just like, was that?
I think you just got to the core, dude.
I got to the core.
Got to the
core of the metal, dude.
Got to the core of the issue.
Melodic core, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, we're genre busting right now. Like
next genre, Alex, bring up another genre, and then we'll go off on it. All right.
No, dude, bring up some more about yourself, dude. Let's get to this.
Get to
the band, dude. I know. No, this is fun. I'm just, if everybody's chill, I'm chill, because this is what happens.
We're just fucking,
yeah.
Well, I mean,
for sure.
So I mean, the band, we eventually broke up because it sucked and we were getting nowhere. And we just fucking you know, we were trying out some new shit. We tried, you know, like a progressive like gent band called Ocean Walker. And then you know, we would still just like, you know, see Jason around and shit, and we thought their band was the shit, you know, which, you know, would end up being Warforged. So we would always, you know, just like try to, you know, get shows. We played a show together, right?
We played I think it was the
VFW.
Yeah, that was like either the first or second Warforged show ever. Was that weekend. I think that was the second one, because we played Penny Road Pub the day before. But you guys played with us. And you guys played with us at the Park Ridge VFW when we did that headline show. Yeah.
So we were like, yeah, because we were always trying to like be around them because we thought they were the shit. You know, Adrian was fucking.
Was this before the EP or anything was recorded?
This was, so I guess to introduce the band's history, me and Adrian, our singer and keyboardist, we're kind of like the OG dudes that are left from the original lineup of Warforged, even though I pretty much consider Alex an OG member since he was on like our first official release. But we kind of came out of this band that was called In His Honor. I said that weird. In His Honor. And everybody would always think it was like a Christian band because of the name, and it wasn't. We were just kind of like, they were kind of like, I was in a band called Sensory Deprivation in high school. We did a little bit of stuff, never really got anywhere. And a lot of the guys that I played music with just kind of didn't want to do it anymore after high school, but I was still really gung-ho about it. And luckily I had known Adrian because our band had played, Sensory Deprivation had played some shows with In His Honor. So we had kind of become friends through that. And they would always invite us over for like band hangout sessions, and it was kind of like our introduction to what really was going on within like the Chicago metalcore and metal and, you know, really loose death metal scene at the time. And it just felt cool to be a part of that. And literally right when that band broke up, Adrian contacted me on Facebook one day and he was like, yo, our drummer In His Honor isn't doing it anymore. Do you know anybody? And I was like, well, I got nothing going on right now, really. Like my other band's not doing shit. And I ended up filling in for them by like practicing with them for 2 weeks. And then I ended up being a permanent member. Nice. But there was just so many people in and out of that band over time that like would come and go here and there, like guitar players, to the point where like, we were just kind of like, why don't we like rebrand our band? We were like, In His Honor, we don't really feel that name anymore. It started off as a metalcore band, but nobody that was in the band at the time really was vibing with that stuff. And we all were way into like tech death at the time. And, you know, that was like our like shit, you know, like I loved The Faceless. I loved Decrepit Birth. I loved Severed Savior. I loved Odious Mortem. Like I lived and breathed like specifically like shit from California when I was younger. Like it was just that like that Deeds of Flesh style, like chunky ass riffing. I was just always all about it. And we didn't really have a lot of that stuff around here in Chicago, at least around then. And even today, we do have a few bands like our guys at Carry On Throne do some really sick death metal around here. Our friends at Vile Secretion do some really sick death metal stuff, but like you didn't really get a lot of that much, or there wasn't that much. But California at the time just seemed to be constantly fucking popping off. It was like Unique Leader was putting out Inanimate Existence, the Kennedy Veil, Wrath, like literal Alter Beast, like all of these fucking tech bands and like the Zenith Passage and shit. And it was just like, holy fuck. Like I always felt that even like when Warforged was like first starting, when we were trying to write more tech death type stuff, like that we would have meshed in so much better over there than we would have over here. And it kind of like still sort of stands that test of time because like we do pretty well whenever we go over to California. Like we have people come out to the shows. Like our first show in where the fuck was that? Alex, what city was the Blue Lagoon in?
That's Santa
Cruz, California, right down the street.
We played Santa Cruz, like our first show there, our first time there in 2018. And Chase from Animosity. What did you say?
Never mind. You were talking about just being in Santa Cruz. LA was our first.
Yeah, that was the first show on that tour. But our first time in Santa Cruz, Chase from Animosity came out and he was like, I love your guys' band. And like at our merch table, and it was me and our guitar player Jason. We were just like, what the fuck? What is going on right now? Like, it was
dude, you were like 5 minutes from the Furniture Dome, the Thunderdome, all those places that we fucking talk about all the time. You're right down.
If only I had known then, but I had no fucking clue. I had no idea because it was like,
that was our turf,
so far from you guys, dude. We're like, we're so far.
We need that DeLorean.
That's where Bill Robinson, Decrepit Bill, hangs out a lot. I saw Bill last time at Blue Lagoon. That's where he chills.
Fucking awesome. That was a really cool spot. That was an awesome show and just such a sick time. We went to, I remember chilling at that record store next door to there. That was really sick. Yeah, and seeing all these sick like death metal albums there. I'm like, well, this is fucking awesome.
We were stoked to have a dude who was older than us that was way into the scene, and he would always stock that metal section with the good shit, dude.
That's awesome. Well,
I bought Pavor there. I bought so much underground shit that dude. I fucking got Pavor there, Joel.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck. Oh, I was gonna say, like, so yeah. So with Warforged, like, you're moving. It started as this metalcore thing, and now you're like, okay, all the tech death. This is what we want to do.
We were getting big into like tech death type shit, and that was just the hot shit at the time. I mean, that's what was going on in death metal. It was like all these unique leader bands were popping off, like we were seeing them. You know, at least from where we were like, fuck, California's got the juice. You know, it's like Fallujah was coming up. Like, I mean, I remember hearing that first Fallujah album and being like, this is fucking insane. Like, I had never heard anything like that at the time. And we took our stab at the death metal stuff with the guys, or the tech death stuff with the guys that we had in the band, but it never really, in my opinion, it never really vibed well. Like, our first single was a song called The Hyperbolic Time Chamber. And like, we kind of like strategized Warforged a little bit because In His Honor kind of died out a little quietly. Our singer, Adrian, I don't know. Do you guys know that band In Full Darkness?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Adrian was in Full Darkness for a minute. He was on a couple singles with them in between their first two records. And he did a few tours with them. He did like the Summer Slaughter Survivors tour they were on.
With Fallujah, right?
Yeah, they were on that tour together.
The fuck, Summer Slaughter Survivors? It was
like, I forget exactly what year it was, but Summer Slaughter.
2 years of it.
It was 2012 and 2013, I think. Yeah. Because they did this thing where they would vote for the opening band that makes it on Summer Slaughter. So the surviving
it's like a reality show type deal,
the surviving bands would do their own tour, you know? And weird. I don't fucking know. Yeah, reality show.
Kind of.
Yeah, sort of, in a way.
Yeah, Jersey Shred. Yeah.
Jersey Shred, dude.
But you know, the tech death shit never really hit for us, I feel. And like, even when we kind of like, so Adrian did this whole thing with In Full Darkness. He ended up leaving the band, and that's kind of when we were like, Warforged is a full go. Like, we were already working on music, but we were like, let's wait till we have something kind of more pro to put out as a band, instead of just being like, come like this band page where you don't know what the fuck it is, you know? And like, I don't know. We just wanted to do something that was a little different. And since Adrian had kind of built himself a little bit of hype touring with In Full Darkness, like when Warforged launched that first single, we were on like, it ended up getting on like Heavy Blog is Heavy and a couple of other metal sites. So like, we got a bunch of traffic from it. And we ended up rolling out like another single that we did recorded around the same time. I don't even remember what the fucking song is called. Alex, do you remember? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Lich King. We put out Lich King, which was kind of like a different thing for us, and was a little more like black metal-y, but still like tech death. And that was kind of like where we were at the time, writing between one of our guitar players and Adrian and just the lineup in general. But eventually we just kept running into a lot of fucking lineup issues. Like, we could never hold down guitar players. It was just sort of like they would come and go. So we ended up kind of writing Essence of the Land, sort of almost just, it was pretty much just me and Adrian sort of working on that. And our guitar players at the time, but they never really made it through the recording process. Like, one of our guitar players was just going through some rough stuff at the time, and he had to step away from the band. And in the meantime, we were counting on this person to record it with us, so it never really worked out. And it was just really weird. We just had this really strange trajectory because it was definitely a period in our lives where it's like, all right, we're just getting out of high school. So it's like everybody's becoming a fucking adult now, and we're learning what it's like to be in the real world. But music is also something that's still so important to us. And it's obviously something that Adrian and I really wanted to keep in our lives. So, you know, we kind of just we got to this point where it was like, we were trying to find our sound. We were having disagreements with guys in the band that weren't on board for some things, but were on board for other things that other people weren't into. You know, it's hard when you're younger and in a band with a bunch of different people that want to have a creative voice. And like, you know, our guitar players would leave. In most metal bands, you know, at least from what I've seen, it's usually the guitar players that are writing the majority of the songs. And we never really had that. So like the creation of Essence of the Land, our first EP, was really a labor of love between pretty much Adrian and I, lyrically only in my department, but Adrian like pretty much ended up writing all of the music on his own, because he kind of took it into this aspect where he was like, all right, I'm a keyboardist, like I play piano, you know, we don't have any guitar players at the time, so who the fuck is going to write this shit other than us? So we had this really interesting mix of songs that was we were actually supposed to, I don't think a lot of people know this, but our EP Essence of the Land was initially supposed to be part of a split with the Zenith Passage and this band called Acrania.
No way.
Yeah. And then the Zenith Passage put out Cosmic Dissonance on their own, and then they ended up getting signed to Unique Leader. Then Acrania did an EP out of their own and got signed to Unique Leader. And then we did an EP and did not get signed to Unique Leader. Not that we were looking to get signed to Unique Leader. I just always thought that was funny. But, you know, we kind of took our time with it because Essence was this big conceptual piece, and we wanted to make it conceptual, and that was really a big part of the ethos at the time. But yeah, we ended up just kind of being like, all right, this is the band that me and Adrian want to take seriously. Like, let's find the guys that want to do it. And, you know, I had known Alex for years at the time. Shit, dude, like we went back in high school, you know, like I had knew him since I was like 16. I remember seeing him at shows. And I always loved hanging out with him and his brother Max, and like we always got along so fucking well. And I'm sure you guys know that there's like definitely an integral time when you're in a band with people that you want to be in a band with like sick dudes. You know, you don't want to be in a band that's like you got a fucking awesome guitar player, but it's like the dude
it's
just
all
gives
about
you glass
him
eyes. You know, or it's just like you can't vibe with him, and it was just like fuck it. Like I remember Alex was in Ocean. You guys were kind of, Ocean Walker was kind of done right at that point, or like you guys were sort of like tapering off.
Alex.
Yeah, you were right. I can't hear you.
2013.
Yeah, so like I remember, you know, we were looking for a bass player because the guy that we had at the time wasn't really working out, and one of Alex's other bandmates in Ocean Walker ended up trying out for us first. And he like, this is back when like we would practice in my parents' basement. And I remember Alex, or not this, Alex's bandmate came by and he had these like printed out tabs. Like he was ready to go. I was like, fuck, this guy's like ready to go. And we ended up playing a couple songs with him and it was all right. And literally like, I think right after he got home, he messaged me. He's like, hey, I don't think I could do this. And I'm just like, okay, no worries. And like, I told Alex about it. I was like, dude, your bandmate totally just like flaked on us. And he was like, Alex immediately like messaged me. He was like, fuck it, I'll do it. And I was like, really? And you were like, yeah, I don't give a shit. And I was like, okay. And, you know, me and Adrian like loved Alex. We knew him at the time very well. And our guitar player at the time knew him very well. You know, and we were just kind of like, fuck it. If you could learn the songs, like, let's just fucking do it. We trust you. We know you. We love you. Like, it just makes the most sense. And yeah, Alex has been doing it with us since 2013. And
nice, dude.
We put out Essence of the Land like right after that.
Nice.
Pretty much right after. Alex was in the video, but he actually wasn't even on the recording. It was our old bass player that had done the initial tracking. But
that's all timing and shit. But
exactly. It was just like, it was all timing and shit. And that just took forever for us. We always take our sweet ass time when it comes to putting out music, but like that definitely took a lot longer than it probably should have for 3 songs. And yeah, it was just sort of like, we got a lot of traction from Essence, and a lot of people ended up really liking it way more than I had ever thought. I thought people were just going to maybe listen to it and be like, yo, this band is kind of cool, but like there's a billion bands doing this type of shit. Like, you know, yeah, I mean, you guys know how metal is nowadays. It's just kind of like, there's so many records that come out all the time. It's like, you forget about a death metal album that came out in like March. Like
I would say that was probably the first Warforged release for me. Like, I remember Two Demons mostly because of the name.
Okay.
Because I was like, oh yeah, Hate Eternal song, like sick. Like
that was so unintentional, man. Like I didn't realize that it was I didn't make the connection. It was the same title as the Hate Eternal song until after the fact.
Yeah.
But that's a pretty general type of song name.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Yeah,
Parallel Thinking has got a wider
that was enough
acceptance in that.
But it was that over the album art that it sold it as like, whoa, okay, this is like a different aesthetic than like the Hate Eternal album or whatever. So it was like clear something was going on. And that's kind of, I think, I really don't remember if I saw Essence of the Land when it dropped or if it was something I rediscovered. So
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, fuck yeah, man. I mean, either way, that's awesome to hear. And yeah, like I think kind of like the ethos of Warforged started when me and Adrian, I remember one time years ago, like we were hanging out in his old bedroom and we just kind of agreed. We were like, yo, let's try and make this band like something that is somewhat original. You know, it's like nobody could really reinvent the wheel these days, but like, let's try and approach this with some type of different aspect. So like,
that's so sick.
You know, we made this conceptual EP, which ended up turning into the idea for the conceptual album that we put out. And, you know, we did the music video for the entire EP. So it was like, we wanted to stand out. And Adrian is, you know, we're lucky to say that he's also a videographer. So we have that in our back pocket. So it was like, you know, we filmed this video, we put a lot of work into it. And and I mean, at least on the internet, it ended up paying off for us because we ended up getting more traction than we ever had at that point off of Essence. But we never really toured on it. Adrian went back to school after that record came out. And like, we were kind of like young still at the time and pretty green to that idea. We didn't have any money for a band and we didn't have any money to really like start doing it. And we still didn't have like that type of interest. Like it wasn't until we ended up doing Two Demons next. And we did that because we had yet again another lineup change in guitar players. And that was when our guitar player Jace joined the band. And Jace I kind of poached because like I had met Jace at like a party a long time ago. And I knew he used to be in a metalcore band from here called Burn the Remains. And like they were a band that just had like a revolving door of people all the time. And I remember seeing Jace play with them and he was like ripping it with them. I was like, fuck, this guy's really good. And I kind of took like a mental note of it. And I finally met this guy at a party and I'm like, oh, okay. And then like Warforged ended up playing a show with Burn the Remains. You were in the band, Alex, for that, right?
Oh, you're muted.
You're mute. Or I can't hear you at all.
What?
Oh, now I can hear you.
Okay.
yeah.
Best comeback.
It was at the Cobra.
That was like 2014. Yeah.
Yeah. And
that was like 24 seconds before your response.
And I remember after we played, Jace came up to me. He's like, Warforged is fucking sick. And I'm like, oh yeah, whatever, man. Like, thanks, dude. You know, like, cause that's what you have to say to everybody that plays the show. Cause like, and the metal disposition is we all have to like hate ourselves and have to be humble about it. And it's just like, oh, I fucked up on this fucking blast. And like, I fucked up on this transition. Yeah, it's just like, exactly. Oh my God. Like,
well, the best bands are like that.
Yeah,
that's what makes you keep going, dude. Yeah. That's another thing that we've learned from this podcast is those situations right there, those micro situations, those more bigger versions of that situation. When you fuck up, that's when we pay attention to ourselves the most, dude.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No matter how many pats on the back you get, you're going to be like, dude, I fucked up at this part. You know?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And then it's like all your bandmates know it, but people in the audience, it's like, this is so fast. I don't know what the fuck is happening. Like, it's just sick, you know, but it's like in my head, I'll be like, I fucked up this part. Like, you know, but yeah, I got to take a step back and be like, well, I still did an okay job.
Yeah. I still feel that till this day. Like a week ago, I played that To Violently Vomit show. And I was like,
oh man, I can't.
Dude, all that footage was amazing, dude. Thanks, Joseph, you're fucking killing it, bro.
Dude, you are so good. You are so fucking good, dude.
Oh,
and to be able to play those songs, those are.
I know. I don't even
know if I could get through a Disgorge song. Well, like I don't know if I could.
I just don't understand. Like Disgorge is so above my pay grade that I don't understand like what they're doing. Like I'm like still to this day, I'm like none of it like really like. I don't know how I don't know. My brain, I see them play and I'm just like, I don't know how you're keeping up with it and doing all those riffs and keeping up with those riffs. And like there's not like any real like solid cues of what's going on. It's just bananas the whole time. You know what I mean? It's just like,
it's so sick.
Yeah, totally.
Love that shit.
Well,
I saw it. Go ahead, dude.
Oh, shout out to Diego for just keeping it going, dude.
Who's Diego?
Riff Wiz. Riff
the riff wizard. And AJ is sounding fucking really good these days. And
dude, AJ looks
always
he killed it at
like
the show.
Nowadays, like he looks like extra pissed. Like he's all like buff and like long hair and like he just looks like I like don't want him to look at me. Like I don't want.
Pretty upset for sure.
It sounds pretty upset for sure.
But dude, Joseph, I wanted to say like. I saw some of those videos and you guys were killing it, and like you know how it goes. Like some of the mixes are this and that from a camera and stuff.
Yeah, I had no snare mic, so that was
yeah. One of them was just like kick drums, but it was like super loud.
Yeah.
But dude, like your kicks were really consistent. Like it was sick. I was like, well, these fucking on point.
Professor's on point, dude.
And I was,
what I was
like, and I know you're good. I've seen you play a lot of times and been impressed. But I was like,
what are those pointer things that professors use?
Dude, it sounds really good.
What if you made your own signature fucking drumsticks that look like Professor fucking?
Yeah. That would be sick. Dude.
Yeah.
Such a sick idea, dude. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Go on Shark Tank and pitch
that would be
shit.
like the Spawn of Possession, like the recording.
You should wear like a graduation jersey on stage, like with the hat, like the graduation hat.
Dude.
That's hilarious, dude. You know what? Okay, at my department, like they do have the lectures, like occasionally participate in like the big lectures where like all the students from the classes all come and they do like dancing and stuff. And I thought about it, I'm like, what if I came as like an artist, but my artist was just my death metal band and we just did a show for the kids or whatever.
All the students realize
because there's
professor's a fucking brutal ass drummer, dude.
Do you see that? It was that Canadian band. It's like associated with the tech death scene up there, and he played and did a show at his school, and like all the kids are watching.
Band,
Oddbird,
right? yeah.
Santiago, shout out, man.
Yeah. Sam, dude. Shout out Sam Santiago. I love you, man. If you're watching this, dude.
Yeah.
What a sweetheart. One of the nicest guys I've ever met in my entire life.
What's he from?
He's played drums at so many bands. He was in Gorod for a minute.
Oh shit.
We toured with him when he was playing with Black Crown Initiate back in 2019.
Nice.
We did like a month in Canada with them, or just about. And
a month in Canada?
A sweetheart. Yeah, it was like 3 and a half weeks. 3 weeks in Canada, and like less than a week in the US.
Damn.
That's a big continent, man.
I didn't realize
it is a very big
that long.
continent. Yeah, lots
a lot of driving.
Drives. Oh yeah. Yeah, we busted ass on those drives, man. But it's fun.
I watched Team America at like 2:30 in the morning while I was driving, doing it just like this.
Sick, dude, that's the move. I'm definitely gearing up to start watching like Sopranos episodes when we just do night drives now, or whenever I have to do night drives. Like, it's just like if something's gonna keep me awake, it's my favorite show of all time. So.
And it's like a chill. It's like a chill show too. It's not like
one thing I didn't have on that one was podcasts. They weren't even a thing. It was 2006 or whatever. We were out there. That's something that we would have been on for sure.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, we listen to so many podcasts in the van.
Well, actually, I was the first one to bring podcasts to Decrepit because I think it was probably
Joel's always the first one of everything.
I'm the first. Jesus, I'm like an egomaniac. But no, I was though because there was Adam Carolla was the first like real podcast. There was that one. I would download a bunch of them, and then Joe Rogan came out way later. But like then I started to get those ones like on there too, and I just throw them on there. They're like way old, nowadays like you get your podcasts like this. But like they're they're like months old, But I'd throw them on and ever just be quiet and be like, and just listen.
I remember downloading them on my iPod, like actually downloading a podcast and putting it on an iPod.
That's what I'm saying. I was through my iPod. It was like where my music was. I had like Adam Carolla, like Joe Rogan, like 2009, 2008, something like that. Like fucking
wild shit, dude.
Yeah, I was ahead of my time.
I was the first one, dude.
I was the first one, dude. I was the first
listener. My dog wants to say hi real quick.
Oh, hey.
What's up, dog? What's the dog's name? Django.
He's a big fluffy boy.
Dude, we haven't had a pet appearance in a while. This is nice.
Oh man, he's like my favorite dog in the entire world. Obviously he's my dog, so I guess I'm biased. But
the resident pet, Rufus, what's up? Where's he at? Chilling.
He's scratching his ear.
Nice.
Is he over the lightning and thunder? He's okay now?
Yeah, it's like it's settled down.
Is that kind of like how he reacts on 4th of July and shit too?
I think every animal.
Oh yeah.
Like they're not down.
Hates fucking fireworks, dude.
Fireworks are a nightmare for animals. Yeah.
Dude, and in Chicago, like 4th of July is all of July and August and like half of September. That's when it's like maybe over. You know what I mean? Like we still get I heard fireworks while we were doing this. So it's like, oh, okay, that is normal.
Well, you sure it wasn't gunshots?
I'm sure it wasn't gunshots. I definitely know the difference now. So
I know, I bet you do. Yeah.
You know,
that's a gnarly spot.
Yeah, it is. But you know, I love it. I love Chicago so much.
So are you in like a suburb of Chicago, or are you in Chicago?
Me and Alex live in Chicago. We both live in Chicago proper. Some of actually Alex's brother Max lives in the burbs. He lives in Naperville. But the four rest of us, we all live in the city. So
we used to play in, I think, Aurora. It was like a big
Doug's Rock House, dude.
Rock,
yeah, dude.
Decrepit Birth there before,
No, it was fucking cool, man. I had a great time there. That was awesome. It was like we thought when I saw that fucking venue, I was like, oh, the Wayne's World place, or what's going on? Like,
yeah, dude.
You know, it was awesome.
You ever hit up that Chinese restaurant next to it?
It's fuck. It's so long ago.
I remember that Chinese spot,
dude.
I never went though.
My question is, with real deep dish pizza, are you supposed to eat it with a fork and a knife?
Oh man, with your hands, dude. Eat that shit without, dude. Eat it without your hands, man.
I mean, imagine if they said fork and knife. That would be like, I'd be like disappointed. They're like, hey, dude, you have to get your napkin tucked under your chin a little bit.
That's basically.
And you have to get the knife out.
You know what, dude? I'm like, I just want, like, everybody. It's so funny because once we started hanging out with a lot more bands, and like, especially on tour when they come through Chicago, it's like, so many people are so concerned about this like pizza etiquette thing that apparently Chicago has the precedent for, and I don't give a fuck about any of that. I just want people to like have
it in your face.
Yeah, just have a good time, man. I don't care how you eat your pizza. Like
that's kind of what Chicago's. I mean, Chicago deep dish. It's like it's like a thing that they just have in their brain. It's like
which is the least of style. Like the least of like I want true deep dish pizza. Like people over here try and do it, and I'm like, am I eating the real deal or?
Oh, totally. Yeah. Because they're traveling. They want like whenever I'm traveling, I'm like, where's the fucking famous food place? Let me go eat there.
I do.
I want where the locals eat. I want to eat where the locals eat, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I have a question about the burger place there. So
Kuma's.
Oh yeah.
So
you guys eating there?
Oh yeah.
I live like fucking 10 seconds away.
Did you ever order the Severed Savior burger, dude? That was fucking
No, they had one?
They had a Severed Savior burger.
Do you know when that was? I never saw that.
It was a few years ago, dude. It was
all 1982, dude.
It was when I was in it though. It was after Servile was
They would do I think what they do is they do like specialty burgers where they like it's kind of like not on the menu, but it's like there for a little bit.
No, it was actually like burger of the month, dude.
A burger of the month.
And they rotate them out. Yeah.
That's right.
That's usually what they
do. I had like a fried egg on it or some shit.
Oh yeah, I know that. I've never had the Slayer burger.
I've had most of them there.
The Slayer one was like a pile of just fucking.
There was a Cephalic Carnage burger, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cal Cap. There's a veggie burger. Cal Cap burger.
What? Yeah. Of course, dude. That's got to be the like impossible meat one.
Exactly.
Yeah, probably. But yeah,
that place is legendary. That's a legendary place. That's for like death metal bands and stuff going through town. You're like.
Oh yeah,
there was in Austin there's death metal pizza, and then in Chicago there's like a death metal burger joint. You know, it's like the two places where it's like food related death metal fucking shit.
Not only that, then there's the chefs that are super into death metal but don't even like show it in their thing. Like I don't know if we brought him up, but dude from vocalists in Sacramento.
Oh yeah, Chris. Yeah.
Super underground death metal.
Well, he was in Dismal Lapse. He was in Dismal Lapse. He was in a bunch of cool bands.
Oh my god, dude!
Bro, he just won
about that.
He just won a fucking food
network
show.
thing. No, I know. I used to go to his house, and he would just be like, "Oh, we're just like listening to death metal and stuff," and he would just like, "Let me cook you guys something." It'd just be like these fucking like. It's like
amazing.
Fucking 5-star
like
restaurant.
One of those, like, he's like one of those like real artists.
No, he is. He travels the world to try to like, get influence.
With chefs and shit, and like has experiences with these chefs to like learn and bring it back to his own place, dude. And I've always wanted to go. Shout out, bro, if you're listening, dude. I'll come up to Sacramento like every other weekend.
I'll tag him on this. Yeah,
I'd like to take a few of my family members and show them like that your art is fucking real. Because like,
the best part about him that he would like have a fancy 5-star restaurant and he'd have like a Death Metal Tuesday there, like and like bring out like and just have like at a fancy like fucking wear suit and tie.
I hit him up like a few years ago, like before
Chris Barnum.
Dude. I hit him up. I was like, dude, I'm up there frequently. Like I'll hit you up when I can get a couple of people because I want to take my parents. That's mainly what I want to do. I just want to take my parents, maybe my brother and his wife, and leave the kids with my grandparents or some shit. and just all have a fucking sick night at his spot, dude. Because he before the pandemic, it looked like he was thriving, dude, and he still got his shit going. And winning that fucking that show, you're like, dude, this guy is legit. Like,
yeah. He went on there and like all like the professional chefs were like, Jesus, like trying his shit. They're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you're insane. Like, just this death metal drummer guy. That's like,
he puts in a dying fetus shirt, dude. You know,
you guys were talking about him a few episodes ago, probably a lot more than that.
That's what happens with these things, dude.
I looked him up, and then I was like, what the fuck? This guy is like a 5-star chef, and I was watching like videos of his like restaurant opening on YouTube and shit. I was really high when I was doing this too, and then I was looking up videos of like. I had like one monitor. I had videos of like Dismal Labs live shit going on, and then I had him at this 5-star restaurant. I'm like, this is the same guy. This is the
same guy, dude.
He's kind of got like a legendary status a little bit too, because he's always like been pretty successful in whatever he does. So he always had like a big house back in the day, like even before I moved there. And he used to have this thing called the dungeon or something, or the cave. And it was this like soundproofed like fucking attic or a basement that would fucking had a stage, had fucking all the shit in it, and in the middle of the mountains in fucking Sacramento, and just would like have shows there back in the day. And that's kind of like the start of a lot of like Gabe Sieber's been there probably when he was a little kid. Like, wow. It's like that's like where a lot of these kids like got their like influence, was that like going to the shows there. It's kind of like a Thunderdome for Sacramento.
Thunderdome for Sacramento, dude.
Yeah, totally.
I love that.
I've heard so many stories about it. I went down there once or twice when it was like
that's the real underground shit, dude. Like, we don't need to fucking set up anything.
It's a venue.
We have a group of people that are converge to one area, and somebody has a spot they're going to do it at, and that's where magic is happening. Totally. Night, you know,
and he had just a straight like concert venue in his basement. Like, it was like like if you were to if we blindfolded you and like walked you down there, you'd be like, oh, I'm at what venue I'm at. It's like I'm literally like a venue he had down there. So yeah, props to that guy. That guy actually, because of all the shit that's coming out of Sacramento, he influenced so many people, and I definitely like, I think the scene wouldn't be the same without that guy. And the food's good too. Hey,
there you go,
as
man.
Like a branch out thing, like that would be a cool episode to have, like him come on, talk about the band, but also talk about food and art and all that kind of shit.
Super down. Let's get him on. Super down.
Yeah. You should do it. I'll watch it.
Hell yeah.
But let's get back to Warforged, which
anyway.
pre-pod, dude. Like I said, Joseph told me to keep this fucking saying, because it's like Necrophagus went and studied in Norway, dude. That's what I got the feeling from your guys' shit, dude. I'd feel fucking like symphonic black metal.
Say it again. I didn't hear you.
It's like Necrophagus went and studied in Norway, dude.
All right, cool.
That's the first vibes that I got, dude. Like, dude, literally, Necro went to Norway, dude.
I know he said that, and Joseph was like, "Hold the fuck onto that."
Did you listen to Voice?
I listened to. I listened to the EP, and it's not the full length of the full length, because I went home. It was at the end of the day today, because I wanted to be fresh on it. I do that all the time. Casey too. It's like I want to be as fresh as I can be with these bands. So the day of the podcast is when I really like try and take in everything. And I came out of it with this like feel of like, you know, Necrophagus had a Norwegian baby and brought it back to Chicago and served
him a burger
pizza with it, dude.
Yeah, that's me, dude. That's us, dude. Yeah, pizza, those burgers. Yeah, man. Well, that's cool to hear. That's definitely a different one. People really, always
dude, I definitely hear some like necro riffing in there for sure, you know, but not in like in the sense of like completely like, oh dude, that's a Necrophagus riff. It's just that styling, and it's mixed in there with the symphonic aspects and the black metal and blackened death.
I mean, I think maybe that, I don't know. I feel like definitely on our EP, there's probably those Necrophagus-y riff vibes. But on Voice,
maybe that's where I'm catching, because I swear I like to start. Yeah. I like to go in chronological order too.
Yeah. That album, I mean, that was like we were still trying to really go for the tech death thing too, but also like we loved black metal, and I loved at the time, like I loved black metal. That was like almost all I was listening to exclusively, was just like this wave of like North American black metal bands like Panopticon and like, you know, bands that were introducing like more atmospheric black metal, like you know, I was really into that shit at the time. Wolves in the Throne Room, Agalok. I loved all of it. And like, So I was always a big proponent of like, let's throw that shit in with our music too. And that's kind of, I guess, where that came from. And our guitar player, this dude named Rich at the time, was also really big into that stuff. So I guess that's kind of maybe why it sort of came out that way a little bit. But yeah, have you guys ever heard of that band, Viljarda?
No, yes.
Yeah. When we dropped Essence, I remember the day of their and I love that band, and their singer hit me up the day it came out. He was like, yo, this EP is sick. And I was like, what the fuck? And then he was like, it sounds like Emperor mixed with Devin Townsend mixed with Cynic. And I'm just like, all right, dude, like, let's go, man. Whatever floats your boat. I just can't believe you like our fucking band.
That's sick. And I'm late to the party with you guys. So like right before the party, I was like, I slept 3 hours last night, and I'm sitting there like, all right, like I gotta get ready and like listen to the music, like what band's coming on next. I had no idea you were the podcast guy that I listen to all the time, but
I'm totally being honest, dude. That was a nice surprise too. As soon as
I know I saw your face jump out.
Oh shit, we're talking to him.
I was so stoked. I was so stoked. I know, but yeah, because I know my guess. It's not my guess, so like I know my, it's like now this is probably Joseph's guess, right? This is Joseph's guess.
Joel, you don't even know who booked the guest. Come on, man. Come on.
Well, dude, did you see how many hours I slept last night? You probably didn't.
He logged it. He put it in the Cali Death chat.
Hours.
You didn't read
12 hours today, and then I slept 3. So just give me a
hey, dude, I appreciate that.
I'm totally kidding.
Listen to our shit. That's awesome to hear that.
Yeah. No.
It was 3:30 a.m. to 6:47.
No, I went to bed at like 4 a.m.
No,
but anyway,
the only reason, the reason I bring these guys on is because their music is sick, and I want you guys to hear them.
Totally, and
I know
it was so.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And every other guy that I hang out with in real life, like Ricky, shout out from Dreamer now. All these dudes are like, oh yeah, Warforged. Oh, you're interviewing Warforged. I love Warforged. Like they're already huge in like the scene out here. Everyone fucking loves Warforged.
Well, no, I've seen the name everywhere, but I was like watching like the kickoff of football today, and I was like eating food, like trying to stay alive. And I was like, I was like, I'm gonna listen to it because obviously they're coming on, so I got to listen to it to make sure I have a frame of reference. And it was me and Trevor sitting on the couch, and I threw it on, and I was like, this shit's sick as fuck. Like I was like, it's very unique though. I literally was like, my immediate thing I said, like I was like, okay, there's an influence there. It's like all these like mixtures of influences that I just heard right off the bat. Just like you had the acoustics guitars, you had like gnarly, like kind of a Dimmu sound for a second. You had kind of like all these different like mixtures I was hearing, and I was like, damn. Like I was joking with them because I was like, maybe it might just be my favorite band tomorrow. I don't know. Like, I was like, I heard it and I was like, because it's one of those, you get brought onto a podcast. Like sometimes you don't know who you're gonna get sometimes, and it's it's like I'll throw it on. I was like literally like fucking damn, this is really fucking good. Like I was, I was honestly like I was very impressed with the eclecticness of your influences that I was hearing. It wasn't just like. And then like what Alex was talking about earlier about like how he was influenced by like Metallica and the journeys it takes you on and stuff like that. I felt like the songs that I heard were kind of like had that Opeth Metallica kind of like taking you on it's not just like this is a sound. Yep. And then the song ends. This is the sound. Song ends.
You guys are like a prog band that happens to play death metal, but it's prog is the core of it. That
exactly. It tells a story. That's like as I get older, like that means more than anything to me. Like it's like the story behind it. Like it's like I'm not really much of a lyric guy, but like as far as like the different like emotions it brings. Like a song, if it brings you through like different waves of emotions, that's my shit. That's what I want to listen to.
Oh yeah,
and I got that immediately from you guys, and I was like, Jesus Christ! Yeah. Like I was like super tired, like trying to like fucking really process it, but I was like, damn, like I'm gonna fucking go deep on you guys when I have sleep.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, like we've like that's first off, that's like crazy to hear from you guys specifically. That's nuts. I never thought I would be on this side of the table ever in my life hearing that shit. So thank you.
You guys crush, man. You guys are great. You guys are really good.
That's so sick to hear that coming from you guys. Like I can't tell you how much we appreciate that. But like, yeah, like we've always just tried to like do some shit that's out of the box. Like there's so many bands that go up there and shred and kill it these days. And metal, and you guys know death metal these days. There's so much going on.
The competition is real.
Bands. Yeah, it is there, and it's just sort of like, you know what? Like, why don't we just try and do something that's we try to do. I guess I like to describe Voice as like a record that like we try to build bigger than our own band. It was like we dedicated so much to that thing. It became this entire concept that I mean, like the more I think about it, the more I just tell people it's like, yeah, like it is definitely a really emotional record, especially for me.
Totally. I got that immediately.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like, I just tell people it's like really, it's about growing up, about growing up and becoming an adult and like dealing with life and the shit that it just like throws at your way. But like, it's cool to find ways to communicate that not only with your lyrics, but with your music. And I think that's something that's always kind of been like the ethos of this band. But really at the core, I always feel like we just want to do something different. It's just like we're at the point now where we're in the band, I guess, to bring the Warforged history to a close, where our newest member, who really isn't that new anymore, has been in the band for like 5 years, is Alex's older brother, Max, who's our other guitar player with Jace.
Family band.
And, yeah, dude. And
the same bro you were getting all the metal from your cousin.
Dude, awesome, dude. And it was just awesome to finally have Max on board, because like we all knew it was going to happen one day. We just didn't know when and where. Exactly. But we had ended up losing a guitar player because he was making some big life changes and just didn't really want to do the band. And like Max hit us up like the next day, and we were just like, yeah, fuck it. Like I don't like, I trust the Damske brothers very, like I trust them more than a lot of other people in my life, period. But like, yeah, it just made the most sense. And like our band has sort of become this family, of just these 5 guys that we've been doing so much together, like within our lives the last 5 years. And
hard to get 5 dudes. 4 dudes is easier than 5. Just
it sure is,
guy, dude.
Yeah, it sure is.
And who are all like stoked to be a part of something together.
Like actually living the XS album.
I mean, look at
by
Slipknot.
blood.
Don't they all hate each other?
Actually bonded by blood. Like, actually that brings me up to another, basically like a Romanian band. I forget what it's called, but it's like they're like they've been along like together forever. I'm drunk, so I'm trying to get the sentence out. But they've been been around forever. No, it's another one. I forget. It's like
that band's sick though, dude.
Oh yeah,
me
and Anthony saw them.
You did?
Yeah,
dude.
Nice.
But it was like all different members, and it was a cover
the
band.
drummer was still alive and in the band,
but
he was like the main guy.
Yeah. But I digress. The Phoenix, this band Phoenix, it's like a band that was like from Romania. They play like rock, like prog stuff.
Okay.
As they get older, they start incorporating their sons to take over their instruments, and they're just like going to keep it going and just like handing off the instruments. So that's going to be like this like 70, 80-year band that just go like, okay, we'll teach my kid how to do, like, okay, I had a new kid, so I'm gonna teach him guitar.
Sick,
and just like hand him the guitar, and then like literally the main guy that was in the band is like the super old dude, and like all of a sudden the next album is his son, like, and they're just like handing off the instruments to their sons, and they're like they're just taking the band over.
Dude.
But I was like, that's a fucking. Have you ever heard of that?
It sounds cool, but at the same time, it's like
they didn't one of the like Rick Wakeman's son played in Yes after. Rick Wakeman did.
Okay.
And then there was all that Zappa plays Zappa.
I was going to say Zappa, which I saw, and it was fucking amazing. Dude.
Well, finally, I'm not first at something.
And Jason Bonham, Jason Bonham did all the Led Zeppelin reunion.
Totally,
shit,
I saw him live.
Zappa plays Zappa at the Harmony Festival in Sonoma County Fairgrounds.
I just saw Zappa play Zappa. I just saw them with King Crimson.
Oh shit!
I didn't understand. Actually, it was. Real quick funny story. So the guy's playing, he's singing and playing like a fucking expensive ass Gibson Les Paul gold top, like super expensive, and like his strap keeps breaking, but he keeps catching it, and then it broke again and just snapped the guitar in half on stage. Like
that's Dweezil playing. So this is Dweezil.
No, so this is what I'm misunderstanding. So I swear it was Zappa Plays Zappa. They were playing all Zappa songs, but it was no one that looked familiar from the band. There's no Dweezil. It was all.
That's what Chris told me, is that there's actually no family connection, but they just are
Dweezil's
some of the guys that
now?
Played with them, so they're still Zappa.
They sound exactly. They sound great.
There's no Zappa.
I know my mom was there. My mom was there with me. Like grew up with Zappa and stuff, and she's like, "There's no." She's all, they're killing it. They sound amazing.
But it's there's no Zappa playing Zappa.
Yeah, I don't think so.
They should have a different. They should call it like apostrophe.
But there's some like there's some old folks in the band like playing keyboard and doing stuff that like maybe were in the band or so. I just don't know who they were. You know what I mean? Like I walked in with my beard and sat down as I got there. And they were playing. Here
we're deeper into the tangent. Dweezil had some like legal shit with the Zappa.
Corporation?
What we call it? Not the corporation, but you call it the Empire Estate. There you go.
Okay.
He playing under
like that
playing.
Zappa Empire.
Yeah, no, it is fucking basically an empire. He playing under his own name. He had to like fight his own family. And maybe that is why he's not playing in Zappa Plays Zappa anymore.
I was expecting to see Dweezil. There was nothing looked familiar on stage. I was like, but they were killing it.
I'm glad I fucking caught him, dude. I caught him. I caught the dude who passed out in front of me. Dude, literally fell asleep on my leg, dude. And I was like, security, get this motherfucker off my leg, dude.
Explain in more detail. More detail.
Okay, so I'm at the Harmony Festival at Sonoma County Fair.
On your leg?
I know.
No. Sorry, I might have said it all fucked up. I was like basically front row at Zappa Plays Zappa. They were headlining one of the two nights. It was basically a reggae festival. But Zappa Plays Zappa was playing one night, and I'm like, oh shit, dude. Sick. Me and my wife love reggae. We love fucking. I love Zappa Plays Zappa. Let's go fucking go. This is before the kids, so we're like, let's fucking drink, let's get high, let's fucking have a blast. And so Zappa Plays Zappa's playing, and all of a sudden the dude in front of me is just like leaning backwards more and more, and I'm like, oh dude, this guy's going down. And literally he went to take a seat, and my instinct was like, catch the dude, and I put my knee out for him to sit down on my knee. I became this dude's chair.
You became his Santa Claus.
I became his Santa Claus, but they're still playing. So I'm like waving security, but still like fucking watching the show and shit. And literally,
that's annoying. That sucks.
The climax, no climax, dude gets picked up by security, takes out, but gets taken out, and I get to enjoy the rest of the show. But it was Dweezil, and I think there might have been somebody else that had played with Frank up on stage.
That's what I was saying too. They were like all like old timer dudes like jamming. So I just don't know the history of the band. So I was like, they probably knew
the guy who used to do like most of the backing vocals for him was on stage, but Dweezil was, the front man playing all the fucking
Dweezil. What a fucking awesome name.
Moon Unit.
What's good, Dweezil?
His daughter's Moon Unit.
Moon Unit. Yeah.
And the first one's just Ahmed or something. Ahmed, Moon Unit, and Dweezil.
And then they have like James or something that just like
John Zappa. Jonathan Zappa.
John Zappa.
What's crazy though is like Frank barely even knew his kids.
Crimson?
Yeah, I just saw that. I actually went.
Dude, how fucking sick was King Crimson?
It was amazing.
Yeah, I bet it was. I caught them in 2019, and King Crimson's like my favorite band of all time. So
fuck yeah,
I didn't get to see him on this tour, unfortunately. But
supposedly the reason why I had to go and I like called my mom and stuff.
The last one, right?
That's
what you saw King Crimson with your mom, dude. That's
my mom flew out from another state to come watch it with me because she's like old school. Like
that's awesome.
I don't want to say she's prog rock, but she's like always showed me very unique thing. She showed me John McLaughlin, Al Di Meola, Jean-Luc Ponty, Motivation
eclectic music.
Yeah. She's like showing me like this. Like that's like shout out my mom showing
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's all that.
Shout out Tori Valencia. Follow her on Instagram under.
I wasn't going to say her last name, but I wasn't going to say her last name.
Whatever. It's my mom, dude. Right. My mom fucking rules. But no, she's very eclectic and very ahead of her time and very like pushing stuff. But anyways, King Crimson had the 3 drummers in front, so it was like a drum battle. So it was the whole time, and I was just sitting there just going like, okay, this is like a experience, just an experience. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like it's a presentation, but it's like, and I know it might be, I looked up Tony Levin's age. Tony Levin and Robert Fripp are both like 78 or something. Like it's not happening again. You know what I mean? They're like,
they're old as hell, dude.
Yeah,
Robert Fripp sitting down on stage, just chilling.
I think 74. I looked it up.
Well, 74, it's a divisible of 2.
So they got 4.
But yeah, it's like dude, between 74 and 78 is where it all goes.
Well, the average human lifespan is like 60 or 71. So I mean, that's all I'm saying. It's like
it's kind of fucked up, but Joseph saying that just made me
coming
dude,
close to the end. It's got
me listening to you, Joel. I was like, "Fuck, I'm not going to be able to see King Crimson again." And then Joseph says they're 74. I was like, "I'm going to be able to see King Crimson."
Yeah, because they're going to 78, dude.
Yeah, maybe. And who knows? They'll probably never do another record. I bet. I mean, they haven't. Since,
I'll still enjoy the music just as much. I mean, I've never seen. Here's the thing that I don't know if I've ever said on the podcast. I've never seen Slayer.
Neither have I, dude.
Whoa.
Never seen Slayer, dude.
I've never seen Iron Maiden.
Every fucking time I had
Metallica. I haven't seen Metallica.
Opportunity to see Slayer, I was going to be out of town. I've never been in town for a Slayer show.
Dude, that was the story of my life with Decrepit Birth. I was always unable to see them in Chicago for like a year straight, and I was getting so pissed. And finally, the first Decrepit Birth show I saw was the fucking Monsters of Death tour with Vader. I think that's what it was called. Yeah. Dude, and you guys played this venue called the Pyramid Club in Addison, which like never had any metal shows other than that one show. Because Alex, that show was supposed to be at the Pearl Room, but that's right when the Pearl Room got shut down. So it ended up jumping over to the Pyramid. Like if you look up old flyers of that tour, I was looking it up. No, it was supposed to be at the Pearl Room. Wait, what?
No, Pyramid Club was stage 83, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
Route on 83.
No, this is on Lake Street, and it's still fucking there, dude. It's like a pizza sports bar. It's insane. Like, I don't remember that. Dude, I remember me and my friends, we were in high school. We were so fucking hyped for this tour because it was the first time we were going to see Decrepit Birth. We were like, fuck, this is going to be insane. We get to the venue way too fucking early before doors, and it's a bar, and we're all underage. So the guys are like, the security guard is like, yeah, just hang out by like the merch and like the gear and stuff. Like you can't come by, like that type of shit because it was a suburb bar. And we ended up like talking with Bill for like 3 hours before the show, like straight. Right. Yeah. But like it was I can't even like tell you how insane that was for me at the time because I was so into the band. Like I had heard Diminishing Between Worlds, and like it literally like it just like flipped the switch in my head where I was like, fuck, I didn't know death metal like this could be so melodic yet so fucking aggro at the same time. It was just like crazy to me because I'd heard End Time Begins, but at the time, like I couldn't really hang with the gnarlier stuff. And like, it's just, I think it was just, when you're younger, it's harder to get into that type of shit. Like now I love End Time Begins, and like gnarly death metal is like pretty much all I listen to these days in the death metal world. But hearing like that influence and like reading Bill's lyrics, and I'm like, fuck, these aren't lyrics about some guy getting like fucked up or like some guy, dying, or it was just like all this like imagery and like these different topics. It was just like, it was revolutionary to me because I was like, I didn't know death metal could be like this. It opened such a big door. And like, awesome. I showed up to that show with like $100 in my pocket. I bought 4 motherfucking t-shirts off of Bill. I remember exactly dude. I was like, ready.
Dude, me and Casey probably got probably $2 from that. So
hell yeah, I got you guys that $1 menu Taco Bell meal.
I was gonna say, like, that's one of the things that you would notice from a lot of California bands, and myself in particular. Like at 19, I got over writing the gore lyrics.
Yeah,
I wasn't even 20 before I was like, I'm over.
Well, how old were you when you wrote Servile Insurrection?
Oh, I was already 27.
Dude, Fecal Phallic has got some pretty.
Oh no, that's
shit,
not.
Man.
That wasn't.
That's an older song. So on that album, there's three songs that were recorded on their first EP before I was in the band.
Dusty did that,
and then they did a full
one of those songs.
Fecophiliac.
Yeah. I didn't write that shit, dude. I didn't write that shit. And a funny story about that is like,
it's hilarious.
It is insane, dude.
Yeah, it is pretty funny.
And I literally recorded that album or that song with my wife studying. She was doing her homework in the studio, hearing me being like, eat my shit, you fucking whore. And just like, fuck, dude.
You know what's funny is because I remember talking to Anthony during that, because Anthony wanted to bring his own flavor to it and wanted to bring like cool, like his lyrics that he thought were interesting, and he was like calling me during like
touching that song, dude.
Yeah, during the recording, he was calling me like, he's like actually like, projecting his soul through his lyrics and stuff and trying to do like cool stuff. He's just got to be like, whatever, eat my shit, you filthy whore. He was like,
yeah, dude. It was a very uncomfortable thing recording that shit. And I mean, it's like,
When you're older too, because when you're younger, that's
such a fucking amazing. Sick song.
Oh yeah,
so sick.
If the subject matter was just
might be one of my favorite Death Metal
songs. It would be probably the best, dude.
Totally.
Dude, I'm all about the poop lyrics, man. I think they're the shit, dude. Literally the shit. Unironically, you guys
I like hearing other people write about it and talk about it. It's like,
you guys ever fuck with the band Atme?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
They're fucking. You should check them out, Anthony.
They're sick as fuck.
Yeah, they're our homies. Like we love those dudes. And
there's a bunch of poop guys.
Yeah, on their last album, Sewerborn, like there's a lot of sick ass lyrics that I'm like, fuck this band, they get it. You know,
whenever I hang out with like Cheney and
Sewerborn, dude.
No, Cheney was like, I think Cheney did like a song for them or something. Cheney did like some sort of a. Did she do like
I know Naveen.
They just talk about them like many episodes of their
okay.
They're really tight with Naveen. Naveen did their first record, I think, when they were known as the Roman Holiday. He tracked their first record, I believe.
Gotcha.
So I know they're tight with him. Naveen did a guest solo on our album too, so that was pretty cool. We had to do a guest guitar solo because we like that Flesh Rot. Flesh Rot. There we go. God damn it! All these metal band names, but it's hard, man. It's getting harder with age, dude. Yeah. Totally. But like that record was so sick at the time. We were just like, we got to get this guy on. And then we just were like, yo, you want to do a guitar solo? And
I know what a blip of a band. What a blip. It was
it was a blip for everybody, but really like we knew about it for years, dude. There's like
Anthony, were you first?
I think I was first, dude. At first to have 4 of the EPs. I think he did like 4 little demo things.
They played our Thunderdome. They opened up the Thunderdome show. It was Flesh Rot, Odious Mortem, and Decrepit Birth was the show. Dude. And it was like literally like before it was like
this is in the fucking living room.
Thunderdome stuff. Yeah, in our living room. And like
oh shit.
It was Naveen on it was Chase from Animosity on guitars. It was Naveen on drums, and then some singer guy that
we would turn this rancher house in Santa Cruz into just a fucking pile of monotony and fucking
broken windows.
That sounds awesome. If you guys ever do that again, hit us up. We'll come out.
Oh no, it's long since demolished.
40-hour drive.
We're talking 15 years ago, dude.
Yeah, that's sick though.
Yeah.
The house shows still live on in Santa Cruz.
Do they really? I feel like
that's awesome.
Santa Cruz is kind of getting like I just went hiking to go look for some abandoned stuff, like with my friend Liberty. What's up, Liberty? But
shout out Liberty.
Shout out Liberty.
Last time I did that, I got fucking gnarliest poison oak ever with you, dude. Not you didn't get it, but the last time I did hiking to find random shit, I came. Well, home
she's all about like finding the abandoned tunnels and like all the crazy stuff. So she like has it all mapped out. So she came into town and was like showing me all those crazy things. But like when you go into like Santa Cruz now, if you get closer to San Jose, it's just like no trespassing, everything. It's like if we're gonna tow your fucking car, do not come here. Moon Rocks, Joseph, Moon Rocks over by UCSC. It's like we're gonna fucking tow your car. If we catch you here, it's gonna be like a $1,200 fine. Like all the things now, and because it's just like so money is involved. But Moon Rocks had like a fire or something, right?
Well, so I know that there were some like bonfire shows out in Davenport at the beach. And like bands would play out there with a generator, and like they would all just like sleep on the beach that night too. Actually,
that sounds amazing.
My friend met his wife at that show that I heard about there. So
wow,
yeah, real shit.
That's
shout
cute.
out. And I know. And then I threw some house shows with Transcend the Realm playing, and we brought out some bands. And we did it at my dad's house. And man, I don't know, like it's still doable. And then the church.
What year though? What year was that?
That was like 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago.
I feel like things have changed.
Do you know the church house in Midtown? Yeah.
Like Mike Gamm and all
so now I probably shouldn't say who lives there currently, but someone who's sick who's been on this podcast, and they have a stage in that house. So like they've done shows for years there. So I think
are they still doing it?
I think they should be. Like they all want to. I know. Yeah. Like up until very recently, it was all people gung ho about it. So
I just feel like as the housing prices like went bananas here, like that has gone away. That's
all the starting musicians are leaving. It's true. Yeah. So it's like a cultivate. It's like UCSC still kind of supplying the blood to it. It's not a local thing as much as it's like a UCSC college thing.
Totally.
So yeah.
Like we have like a humongous house with like very like bunch of space between neighbors, and like if there's a little noise, we have like one neighbor's like, no, You can't do noise. It's like 6 p.m. or like
I wouldn't want to pack people into that house anyways.
Well, no, I know I would never want to do that, but like it's like literally Trevor playing bass by himself, and like we're getting complaints. It's like, it's insane. It's getting to the point where it's like everyone's got these cell phones now where they could just be like, they can file a complaint or do something really quick. So
it's like next
all
door
the Santa
bullshit.
Cruz, like live house party stuff I think it's gone. I think it's that's gone. That's another.
There was a house party last like Saturday night at my homie's house. Like I saw there was like footage. There was like 75 or 100 people there. Out on one of the lagoons.
Dude, Casey's spot in Daly City. I'm sorry. I just have to say you had the nicest neighbors, unless I didn't know anything about that, because we would fucking rage.
I figured that he just had like the way Casey treated it. I thought that he just had like gnarly, like soundproofed walls or something.
I don't know, but like karaoke until the wee hours of the morning.
Yeah.
Fucking drums.
Yeah, how did you get away with that? Did you have to deal with much as far as like neighbor complaints?
I made him an offer they couldn't refuse. Yeah, it's just the way it was.
Some nations chili or what?
Yeah, dude. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah,
10% of your 10%.
No, how did you get
rent.
away with that? I didn't understand that either. It was like you were in like an apartment studio and you literally
sharing a wall, dude.
But you're not living there anymore. I don't really understand how that happened. I was like, whatever, dude. If you want to keep the volume this high, we can do that.
Yeah. Like, no, it was like
just like 2 a.m. It's fine if you want to do this, but like he did it.
It was like imagine having like a second story apartment, but like you don't have any neighbors attached. Like it was like a separate building, and then there was like other buildings on either side with like a bunch of like places like attached, and then below me was a garage, and then to the right of me was like one neighbor, but like there was like this thick wall between both places, so that they like condo style, they did it like super gnarly. So I mean,
it's like, set up pretty nice to where.
Yeah,
there was one story that me and Casey,
they could hear it though. It wasn't like they couldn't hear
it. Yeah.
We would be beaten out.
There was one time I remember being at Casey's house and like we're being like super bananas, like singing like Iron Maiden, like fucking karaoke through like a fucking a receiver on like 9, like just screaming through it.
Wait, and then we just hitting the fucking. He's back.
Hey! What's up, dude? I just remember like Casey,
water bottle bong, dude.
I remember Casey being like, "Oh shit!" Like at 3 a.m, like all the windows were open.
Yeah, we got a knock on the door, and it was like the security guy. He's like, "I'm sorry, but we got complaints." It was like 3 a.m, and it's like
we're karaoke.
All of the windows are open. We didn't. We didn't realize, and so.
Purple rain.
Yeah, so
I mean that's just
so we just closed the windows and kept singing until like 5 a.m.
That's why I'm saying how like preposterous. Like he plays like bass a little bit loud, and like a neighbor that's like fucking like 60 yards away is like complaining. Like I'm just like,
dude, I'm not gonna be responsible for getting us back to where we should be right now. You guys gotta fucking do it now.
I'm so sorry.
No apologies. We're the ones who are we're in the weeds on Casey's Daly City apartment right now.
It was
it was my fault. It was my fault.
Yeah. No, that's we need to remember that. All right.
So what do you guys want to say about Warforged? Make sure you want to get out the message.
Well, I mean, I guess I don't know, man. Check us out. Like we're trying to do something different with metal, period. Like we've always been trying to do that. Like we love the genre. Voice was a really, really, really big undertaking for us. Not only did we try and dedicate that whole thing to the concept that we made a video that literally goes along with the entire record. It's on YouTube. You could check it out on the Artisan Airs page.
Where do we buy your merch?
At the beginning, right?
What was that? I'm sorry.
I just want to
two different questions at the exact same time.
I know. I just want to know where people can buy your merch and find you and find your music. Like how do we? Because I know is there another Warforged band?
Yeah, there's some band from Brazil, right?
Yeah, they don't really do shit anymore.
I know. I searched for you guys just now during the podcast, and it was like Brazil. I was like, damn, they wear face paint. Like it's all crazy. And it was a Brazilian band.
Yeah, not us.
Yeah.
But
so where can we find you though?
You could find us you could just find us at, I believe it's facebook.com/Warforged band. Our Instagram is Warforged
I
band.
Googled you guys, and you guys are the first Warforged that comes up when you type in Warforged.
We got, as far as merch goes, Joel, we got Big Cartel right now. It's warforgedband.bigcartel.com. We sell some of our own merch. Our exclusive tour merch is on there if anybody's looking. We are also going to be dropping a store soon through Night Shift merch.
Nice.
It should be up sometime next month, I'm thinking, with a bunch of new announcements, sort of new announcements we have coming soon that I can't spoil on here just yet, but keep your eyes peeled on that. We'll be on there. I believe Artisan Era, our record label, they've pretty much, I think Night Shift is taking over all of their merch, which is awesome because they seem to be doing a killer job. So we'll be having some new sick ass exclusive shit that's going to be on there. So keep your eyes peeled because I'm designing it. So it's going to be sick.
Hell yeah. How cool is Malcolm, dude? That guy's like,
I love him so much, dude.
Yeah, totally.
Malcolm that new Fury album dropped.
Oh, it's amazing. It's really cool,
dude.
I knew him as the guy, the guitar player for Entheos for a little while. I didn't know that he fucking did Artisan Era. I didn't know he did all the stuff, and like he played with Ultra Beast in Sacramento. And I literally started hanging out with this guy. I'm like, this guy's like the funniest, fun guy I've hung out with him like forever. Like we immediately
he is the man. Dude.
No, he's super. We'll get him on here for sure.
Yeah, you got it. And he keeps it so real. Like, I mean, him and Mike, the other guitar player in Inferi, they both like run Artisan.
That's right.
We've toured with Inferi more than any other band at this point. Not that we could say we have even done that much touring, but we've done that. We did that Canadian run with them. We did about a week-long run with them when they were before they were about to hop on that Obscura headliner when they dropped Illuvium. We did like the routing dates with them all the way out to the West Coast, and then we drove all the way fucking home from Chicago from like Andrew Lamb's house in Sacramento.
Oh yeah,
shout out Andrew Lamb, by the way. I love that.
Yeah, he's been on here.
Yeah, I know.
I never did the research to find out, is the Artisan Era a California label? Is it based in California?
It's based out of Nashville. Yeah.
Oh, but okay. It actually feels like a next generation Cali.
It is, man. They totally picked up the tech death torch for sure. Like,
I know. Listening to just like Malcolm talk on other podcasts and stuff. Like, we have the most similar styles of what we liked growing up. Like, it's amazing.
That's true because Nashville's well known for their years and years and years of being a part of like music and shit.
No, didn't Malcolm literally work in a record plant? Like pressing vinyl.
Yeah, so. he used to do that.
Oh yeah. Damn.
I don't know if he still. I don't think he does that anymore.
But. Yeah, no, I remember him like quitting. He talks about on the Entheos podcast, quitting to. Sorry, that's the Cupper Crab podcast. Quitting that job to start going hard with Artisan Era and making it. So he built that thing, and we're all super impressed. And like, I remember just thinking in terms of a potential label. Like, man, getting on Artisan would be so sick right now. Like,
dude, we got hit up by a couple other labels. Before Artisan, and we just weren't vibing with the contracts. Like they weren't contracts that looked really appealing to us, and we cared so much about what we had worked on for this record Voice that we didn't really want to come with any compromises. And Malcolm was like the only dude at the time that like believed in it. He was the only guy that was just like, this is something special that you guys have. And
totally.
I mean, I remember before we signed the deal with them, they were doing a tour with it was Rivers and Nile was doing a headliner for Where Owls Know My Name. Yeah. And the lineup was them, Inferi, and Alter Beast.
Yep.
And it wasn't a Chicago show, but me and a couple of the guys and a bunch of guys in my friend crew, we drove out because we're really tight with the Rivers guys. They're like our best friends. Like,
oh yeah,
they've helped us out a lot over the years. Like Bro as a band, and Brody, their guitar players, personally just one of my best friends, and he fucking rules. But aside from that, we went out to hang out with the Inferi dudes. We didn't really know them that well at the time, but I remember me and Adrian were talking with Malcolm, and Malcolm was telling us how much he fucking loved our EP. And he was like, we're going to be touring with fucking Obscura. We want you guys to do the routing dates with us. And he was like, we want to do your record. And we were just kind of like, what the fuck? That's awesome. Just the fact that he was this dude that like, like the concept for Voice was a really, really fucking hard pitch to a lot of people. And I think it's a record that is a slow burn for a lot of people. I mean, even within the metal community, because it's a lot, man. And there's a lot of twists and turns, and it's a really complex listen.
Why I love it.
Yeah, and that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome to hear. And I always, dude, like Joe, there's so many times, and this is me being a fan right now, but I've listened to this show and I listen to the shit you talk about with music, and I'm like, fuck, dude. If he heard voice, he would fucking dig it.
And I immediately did.
I was like, I knew this is like right up his fucking alley, man.
I immediately was like, whatever, let's just put on the band that's gonna be on today. I was like, fucking tired, and I put it on. And I was like, they're actually told Trevor, I was like, they're doing something actually pretty fucking unique. That's like literally the words that came out of my mouth. I was like me sitting with one of my best friends, as fucking candid as you can be, not being like filmed by anything or whatever. And I was like doing this in the beginning, and I was like, and then it was changing changing moods and changing environments and stuff. And I was like, this is actually fucking new, kind of. This is a new thing I've heard. Yeah, I loved it.
I was listening to it on the way to work, and I normally go one ear with normal shit, and I was like, wait, nah, dude, I gotta go 2 ears with this, dude. And I went 2 years with the AirPods.
That's the biggest compliment you can ever get, dude. He went 2 years with you, dude.
I went 2 years, dude.
Yeah, let's go.
Driving with 2 ears, I'm like, I don't care if I hear a siren right now. I gotta hear both sides of this thing.
Yeah. So, dude, that's awesome, man. I cannot fucking believe that I'm sitting here hearing you guys say this shit about our band.
No, I'm like literally so stoked for this to like end, so I can go like listen. Like I'm like literally
plenty about, but you said plenty about us too.
I swear to God, though, I literally like heard that song and I was like really tired and was like not into listening to anything at the moment, and I was like, whoa, this is fucking. I was like doing that thing, you know what I mean? Going like,
that's awesome, man.
Doing this, that move, and I was like, dude. Oh shit! Well, I'm actually gonna probably throw this in my fucking my rotation tomorrow.
That's killer, man. That's awesome to hear, dude. I appreciate that so fucking much. Like,
no, totally. You guys are keep fucking creating that art that you guys are doing. I really appreciate the style you guys are bringing. It really, man. It's really something refreshing and cool and you know like we talked about earlier. Like it's just like adding like a story, adding the fucking different styles, not just being this, you know, like a copycat band, just go do your thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And the thing, I think the thing that made, at least for me, the thing that made Voice so special was like the conceptual part of it is really, I mean, it's taken from a first person perspective and a third person perspective about a person that is having a sleep paralysis dream. Adrian struggled a lot with sleep paralysis when he was younger. I've struggled with it before.
I struggle with it to this day.
Casey, I'm going to call you out. You've called me a couple of times with some sleep paralysis shit too.
It's like one of my worst disorders that I have.
Yeah,
I have it all
it's fucked up, man. And
a couple days ago I had it, and I woke up face down on my pillow and couldn't breathe, and was all freaking out, and I couldn't move, and I couldn't breathe.
Like today,
it was like a nightmare.
I would say,
why are you still alive right now?
I would say
I should be dead, because I'm a fucking gangster. I just fight through it.
Because I was the first one. I was the first one to breathe through a pillow.
Fuck that dude up, man. But yeah, that's so funny to hear. But yeah, dude, like I love bands. Like personally, a favorite trait of mine in death metal, which Anthony, I think you vibe with, is like that kind of death metal that makes you feel like uncomfortable. You know,
dude.
Have you guys? I don't know if you guys fuck with the band Portal, but they're like,
that's an uncomfortable band.
Yeah, they're one of my favorite bands of all time. Period.
Yeah.
I think what you're talking about is what I was mentioning on the Coma Cluster Void episode, which is that unsettling feeling and no release.
There's no result. There's no resolve. There's no resolve. They bring you up. They're like, and it just doesn't resolve ever.
They tense you up, but they never say, okay.
They never give you that pillow to be like, oh, here's my safe space.
Exactly.
They
create that.
They just drop you back to the earth, and then you're like, okay, dude, let's go to the next song.
Like when it comes with
it's all next.
Yeah, like when it comes with like artistic, you know, when I think of like art, the pieces of art, whether it's music or film or whatever it happens to be, you know, what always draws me is something that has some depth to it. I always like depth to it. Whether like even today, like I listen to a ton of hip hop. Anthony, you need to come on my show and we'll do a fucking hip hop.
Dude, I'm down.
I would love to.
I've been waiting. I've been doing this for a year, and every time I try and go into hip hop, I look at everybody's eyes, and they're all like,
every time he goes into hip hop,
we can do new metal every now and then, but as soon as I go hip hop, it's
like this. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, I got you, man. There's so much hip hop I want to talk with you about. Are you ready for Baby Keem's album to drop tomorrow?
Baby who?
Baby exactly. You don't know shit.
Come on.
Baby Keem.
He just put out a song with Kendrick Lamar like last week.
Okay.
That song "Family Ties." Have you heard that?
Too high. That's too high up for me, dude. You
don't fuck with Kendrick Lamar?
I don't fuck with like current shit.
Oh,
I don't fuck.
It's like a dad that tells you he's like Jimi Hendrix is like the only guitar player.
No, I won't say that their current MCs aren't dope. I won't say that current MCs.
He loves Bone Thugs. He loves Bone Thugs.
Yeah, you like Bone Thugs?
Oh yeah, dude.
That's cool. I like Bone Thugs.
Yeah,
Alex does too, man.
But no, my like. If we're gonna talk about hip hop real quick, like the underground shit, the LA underground shit, Project Blowed, fucking The Good Life Cafe. Everybody needs to know about that shit. If we're gonna talk about California, we need to talk about early 90s fucking
I don't know any Cafe. Of that.
Okay, so please, everybody who is into this shit needs to watch the I love to say this documentary is a good introduction to LA underground, and it's called This Is the Life. And it is a fucking well done documentary about the early 90s Good Life Cafe, which was a fucking hippie cafe in the ghetto of LA. And all these kids who were living down there were like, fuck violence on Thursday nights. Let's go to the Good Life Cafe. We'll pack that place out and everybody do their poetry, do their freestyles, do their like kids were writing new songs every single week to go perform this at the Good Life Cafe. And there was only like a certain amount of rules. Don't touch the fucking paintings. Don't swear. As soon as you cuss, your mic gets cut and you get pulled off stage, and the next person who's up comes up. So it made
what do they do with you if they pull you off stage? They beat your ass.
No, it wasn't like that. It was like, oh, you're done for this week. You're done this week. You got to come back next week and be more conscious of your profanity.
That's cool. That's very forgiving of them.
It is. They
don't have to do that.
So what it was a workshop for these hip hop musicians that were up and coming at that time to work on their freestyles and work on their writtens and not lean on profundity. What is this documentary called? This Is the Life. I'm pretty sure.
This Is the Life. And what did you watch it on?
I have the physical copy.
Damn, I'm gonna write this down on a notepad real quick.
Yeah, just research the Good Life Cafe in fucking Compton. I think it was Compton.
Good Life?
The Good Life Cafe.
And we had a restaurant out in Chicago in the Water Tower Mall called Food Life, and it was so fucking sick, dude. Shout out Food Life. It doesn't exist
but anymore. This started out as just like
you remember Food Life, Alex?
Oh yeah, of course.
Dude, Food Life, you get that slice of pizza and a burger real quick.
No, they wouldn't serve you a burger here, dude. They'll serve you a wheatgrass shot and a fucking and a tofu burger. That's what it would be.
I would try.
It was this woman that was I now with all this information that I've given out, I wish I had her name, but she was promoting, more like a vegan, vegetarian, healthy lifestyle with poetry. And then all of a sudden this more deeper style of hip hop came in and like mingled with that. And it ended up becoming this thing that moved into Project Blow. But it was like the alternate stuff because everything was gangster rap back then. It was Dr. Dre. It was fucking Snoop Dogg down there.
Man, this is real old shit, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. This is like 92, 91.
You don't fuck with anything new? Like anything remotely new?
Oh, I'm not saying that. Just give me some good shit. Because I'm not down with the mumble rap. I'm not down with all that other shit that's on the radio.
We'll get you on some good shit. You ever listen to
First, you gotta hear Freestyle Fellowship and then tell me, all right, with their fucking styles, like you show me a current band that it sounds anything like.
You're old manning him, dude.
You are old manning me. I wish I knew what you were talking about in order for me to like.
That's what. Okay, so let's do this episode on your shit where I come with my old man shit. You come with the new man shit. We listen.
You gotta message me before and give me some like reference here because I don't want to go in cold, dude. I'm gonna look like a. No. I don't know what I'm doing.
We'll plan this out.
All right. Yeah, we'll have to coordinate. But yeah, have you ever heard of Brockhampton? They're like a newer hip hop group. Yeah, it's like 7 or 8 dudes that all rap and like do R&B shit
It's
together.
the Slipknot of hip hop, dude.
Yeah, they're honestly like one of my favorite bands, period, right now. Like I think what they're doing is insanely sick with hip hop.
Like the Shapeshifters crew. That's another fucking shit down south.
Shapeshifters crew.
There's like fucking over 10 dudes in it, dude. It's all posse. So you're talking about like a current posse?
People?
No, they talk about like fucking dude, like sci-fi shit. The aliens, fucking
dude. You guys have a whole podcast coming to this because you guys, I can tell.
Art Bell, fucking samples all up in the beat.
Like we're all like, I'm sitting there, it's like, yeah, sick, dude. You guys ever heard of fucking?
Casey's cut.
I don't know. To be honest, I really don't know much of what Anthony's dropping either. I just don't know that much about hip hop. Like hip hop has been.
So we just both did that to each other. So that just showed us that we need to fucking.
6 years of my life.
Yeah,
I gotta dig into the newer shit. You gotta.
That's what I'm saying. You guys are going to go have a hip hop episode though, right?
Oh
yeah, dude. And you're gonna come and you're gonna learn.
I'll just be like this. I'll be like,
while you fucking.
This is me the whole time.
ICP. You'll be listening to ICP while we're talking.
You'll be listening to the fucking sick shit, dude.
I'm like trying to act cool. Like, I get it.
All right. Should we fucking wrap this thing, dude? I think
probably.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we're pushing 3 hours.
Dude, this is all good. You guys have been fucking awesome, dude. I had a great time.
Thanks for having us on, guys. I'm sorry we didn't talk enough about Warforged.
No, dude.
I mean, check out Warforged. You guys are fucking awesome. Check out fucking the podcast. You guys what's it?
Nothing's for no one.
Nothing's for no one.
Yeah.
I'm a subscriber on Apple.
Me too.
Hell yeah, that's awesome, guys.
Yeah. I'm a YouTube subscriber.
So cool. Yeah. And for real, we seriously cannot thank you guys enough for having us on this show. It was a pleasure. Like everything all of you guys do is fucking crazy. Joseph, that new Dreamer track is hot as
amazing,
fuck, dude. It's so good. You sound so, and that fucking you playing with the Violently Vomit is insane. You're doing like laps around what I can do as a drummer. Like,
no, dude, I take inspiration from you. I take a lot of inspiration from you, man. Like with what you're doing. Yeah. And I wanted to shout out Roman Ring too. Your other band is fucking hot and they have some sick fucking shirts that you just dropped.
Does the intro to your shit? That shit's brutal.
My boy Mike Baylindo, who plays in a band called Boreworm. They're from Michigan. They're from like around the Detroit area. They are a fucking amazing band. If you guys have not heard them,
what was the band again?
Boreworm. Yeah, B-O-R-E. You toured with them, dude. I don't actually know. I don't think you were in the band, Joel, but Decrepit did a tour with them, a Summer Slaughter with them.
Okay, got it.
But I think they had Sean playing bass on that run.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah. They like they're fucking sick, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm super stoked on all the shit you guys are. I mean, Dreamer. We're gonna
we're gonna do a Dreamer episode before they get signed to the biggest metal label on the planet, probably.
Yeah, dude.
This is the first prototype sticker on CD for Dreamer.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna do it better.
I'll give you $100.
Looks awesome.
it's literally it's not even. It's like a demo from some other band that I used as a test to put this.
This is what I'm saying, dude.
That's why I want that one. It's like
we got to use our
dollar bill or something.
Cali Death Pull because the professor is part of the fucking family. Obviously,
yeah. No.
Everyone will know.
We want the exclusive. We want the exclusive episode before you get signed, so we could play a couple of tracks without being copyrighted.
It was you guys from Warforged sharing our song and then shouting out Cali Death Podcast that got you guys on this week.
I know.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. I've been dying to do this. And I want to do it again if you'll have us again.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Whenever you guys are down, hit us up, man.
You guys are both welcome back, dude.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, we got some shit cooking up, too, for everybody that's wondering, because, like, I did say
next year or something.
Yeah, we take our time with music, but we're working on our record now, and it's definitely going to be a different experience from voice. And I'm really excited about it. Let's
just say 2022 might be pretty awesome for all of us in this.
Yeah.
Totally.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, dude. It's gonna be sick, man. Yeah, we got some cool shit in the pipeline. So I'm really stoked. And keep your eyes out for that new merch store. Hopefully sometime within the coming month or so.
I just ordered a shirt. Is that not gonna show up anymore?
Fuck yeah. No, it's coming.
Okay.
All of our merch is at Alex's brother's place in the burbs. So He'll ship it out personally, dude.
Nice.
Boom. Check out Warforged. Get their merch. They're fucking sick as fuck. Listen to them on Spotify. I was like completely going into it like whatever. It's a band. It's coming on, so I'm gonna listen to them. And I would like listen to the first song, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
And and all of you guys are gonna say pretty much have that same fucking reaction.
Exactly.
Oh shit.
That's the best advertisement.
Yeah, guys, that's awesome.
Fuck yes. Wrap this shit up, dog.
All right, guys. Love everybody. Have a fucking awesome weekend, and hit us up on all the good social stuff. Buy your shit, support your shit. Love us, love you. We'll see you next week.